Good evening, everybody. Welcome in to the AEL University Elite Series. Matzy and Morgie coming to you live here tonight. We've got Rocket League on the cards, and I am super duper happy to be back and excited for what's to come.
Yeah, excited for you to join us tonight for Rocket League, Matsy. I know Formal was dying to be here tonight. We've honestly, for all nights for you to be here, this is an exciting one. We've got some really cool matchups, so keen to get into it. And yeah, keen to cast together as well.
Absolutely keen to get down to business and into all the fun stuff. But speaking of the fun stuff, it's time to talk about my most fun things, the sponsors. And first and foremost, I want to say a big shout out to AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs. But don't forget, there's another sponsor to think about. It's Indomie, the noodle partner. Made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices, a plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. Big shout out to our sponsors there. You know them. We love them. Make sure you check them out.
I don't know if it's the same for you on CS Casts, Matsy, but every Wednesday night, Formal and I are sitting here, neither of us remembering to eat dinner beforehand, hearing the sponsors, getting really hungry. A bowl of noodles would go down really well right now.
Well, that's where Indomie comes in clutch, isn't it? They're always there when you need them. Big shout out to them once again. But speaking of stuff to check out, let's check out how our teams are shaping up through the competition. We got our standings here. UNSW on top, alongside Macquarie in second there. Close competition in this one. RMIT going to be taking away a third place, followed by closely QUT and UON there, as well as Swinburne. So very hot competition in the mid of the pack there. But towards the bottom, it's UTS as well as Griffith.
Yeah, it's definitely been an exciting one so far, Matsy. We've only had 2 weeks of competition, right? But these standings, I can tell you, having witnessed the last couple of weeks, these are very telltale at the moment. And tonight will be really interesting to see how we break some of these teams up. But last week, we saw some of our favorites or some of the top teams did secure those wins. So UNSW, our champions from last season, came up against UTS last week and did manage to get the sweep there. So did RMIT against Griffith. We had 2 sweeps last week. Macquarie, who were sitting pretty, sitting decently pretty at the top as well, managed to take down UON 3-1 last week to secure that second spot at the top of the ladder there. And QUT as well, another winner from last week, taking down Swinburne in a full-length series 3-2.
Yeah, definitely sounds like there's been some hot competition there, and really eager to see what tonight's adventures are going to bring as well, because Rocket League, I know it's always exciting. I'm sure we've got some exciting games ahead, so let's check them out. We've got, first and foremost, Macquarie taking on RMIT, 7 p.m. Following suit, it's Griffith taking on UTS at 7:45. And following that, it's Swinburne taking on UNSW at 8:30. And the closer, the last one, it's QUT and UON at 9:15. So we have got a plethora of matches here this evening, and I am so excited to dive headfirst into the fun.
Absolutely. No, this is really, really cool. And kind of like I said before, not to underestimate the excitement of tonight, Matsy. The only match up there, Swinburne versus UNSW, our third game of the night, is the only match where the teams aren't sitting neck and neck on the ladder. So all 3 of our other games, our first one, Macquarie taking on RMIT, our second game, Griffith and UTS, and our last game as well, QT taking on UON, they are all neck and neck on the ladder, battling out for those spots at the moment. So I feel like tonight really is the night that's going to separate the good teams from the teams who, struggling in some of these matches.
Yeah, I'm keen to see how it shapes up in the result part of the matchup. I think, we could see everything get shaken up there. The bells are going to be ringing, the bells of victory for our teams tonight, and super duper keen to hear all about them once we dive into it. But let's take a look at the first game ahead of us. It's Macquarie versus RMIT once again, and this is going to be a fun way to kick things off.
Oh, absolutely. This is honestly, out of all the games tonight, this is probably the one that I've been most excited for. I feel like since we saw some of these teams performing, particularly Macquarie and RMIT, in week one, Formal and I were both talking about how excited we were for this match. We looked at the schedule, like it's week 3, it's game 1 of that week. We cannot wait to see that game because, like I said before, UNSW, that team, our champions of last season, they've been such a strong team. And coming into this season, we've had some roster swaps, Matsy. We've had some new players in the mix now. We've got Luna, who is currently a top RLCS player, recently won one of the Opens, just missed out on the major, but definitely one of OC's top players at the moment is in this league. So we've got some challenges for UNSW. No one's taken them on just yet, or Macquarie is still yet to, but these two teams coming up against each other is super duper exciting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be some pretty tight competition there, and it's great to have those experienced players behind your rosters as well, because it really kind of boosts the overall momentum of the team as a whole. You know, you can draw on that experience for your teammates to really just, yeah, make sure that your team is able to give it their all and strategize accordingly there. So really keen to see that showcased in our matchup here tonight. They can show exactly what they're made of, and they can do it absolute brilliance, but we'll see what is going to be on the cards for them once they are prepared for battle.
Definitely both of these teams going to come into this match absolutely swinging without a doubt. You know, on this Macquarie side, like I said before, Luna, as you can see up on the screen at the moment, very, very talented, currently very active RLCS player. Akame has done spectacularly in RLCS himself and has some really good achievements as a player. Corp was the player that I was not too sure about before he came into the mix last week, but is playing incredibly well with both of these other teammates. They just seem to be a team that really gels well together. RMIT, I had more question marks over at the start of this season. Swaggy, I hadn't seen too much of. Obviously, Exodus we had from last season. Worthy was not a player I was familiar with either, but you know, reading the chat in the last couple of weeks, is a Supersonic Legend SSL player, plays a lot of ranked, grinds a lot of ranked apparently, and has definitely impressed us these last couple of weeks. So this is an exciting game. I do have to give the edge here to Macquarie. I think that they will win this series. I think maybe it'll be a 3-1 or a 3-2. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. But we started the game, already a couple of shots out of the gate immediately from Macquarie, and things are heating up quickly.
Absolutely heating right up and ready to see who's going to be able to land the first blow here. Good that they're able to hold themselves together, not allow anything in too early. You know, they can play around those rotations there and really look to deliver some great goals. But we'll see who's going to be able to land the first once we find full burst. Try and flip it across the side.
You can definitely see both teams at the moment just trying to get a feel for each other a little bit. No doubt that RMIT is very familiar with Macquarie's players' achievements, so not wanting to go too hard on them too quickly and risk any counter-attacks here. Macquarie, though, also taking it a little bit slow. A couple of mistakes happening as well, kind of giving the ball to Exodus there, having a free shot on net, and as quickly as I've said it, RMIT are up by 1.
By 1 and ready to hit the ground running here. We'll see if Macquarie is going to be able to hit back onto the kickoff here. Remaining stagnant in the beginning, but the momentum shifting towards the RMIT side of the pitch. They look to launch an attack once again, but Macquarie's ready for it.
RMIT definitely trying to keep the pressure on Macquarie at the moment, keep that ball in their half. He's gone loose now. Akame trying to get it out of their half, trying to get it into center, but Exodus, zero boost, trying to take control here. A demo on Swaggy as well. Ball has gone loose again. Can Worthy get the shot on? Does manage to do so, but Luna's there for the save.
Ready for the save and ready to try and shave down a bit more of the opponent's energy there. We'll see. Can manage to pull something together. Good demo from Luna allows their team to strike back with confidence. 1-for-1 now. They tie things up.
Classic Rocket League here. Corp with the pass off the backboard there. Does manage to get it around Worthy, who had no boost. Had to go for that challenge early. Was definitely the right move, but just didn't make contact with the ball. That one was an easy follow-up from Macquarie, and they have managed to now equalise this game. 3 minutes still left on the clock, so anything can happen. Both teams looking very solid right now.
Looking good and could even look great as they shape past another one. Great way to just penetrate the defense there. Luna, a class effort and a good bounce off the rail there will allow them to prevail. So up of 2-1. We'll see what else they are going to be able to do.
Yeah, I feel like I may have slightly jinxed things there a little bit by saying play was looking solid. Definitely some awkward positioning from RMIT. A lovely save there from Swaggy. In a great position to receive that ball, but too much pressure coming out from Macquarie right now. Definitely starving RMIT of their boost, taking away those resources, not allowing them to make contact with the ball. Like you can see Exodus with 0 boost there. Macquarie now off to a solid lead.
Yeah, slowly but surely taking steps to build up the lead, and we'll see if RMIT can speed ahead to try and strike back, because they did find the opener, but they've been struggling to find another answer here. This might not be the last dance for them though. There's still plenty more time in the matchup. They're trying to see if they can structure something together. A little bit too slow there, but this isn't the end.
A little bit unfortunate for Worthy on that one. Was lurking upfield and made the jump for the redirect, but just not in the best position for that one. And the pressure being put back on RMIT by Macquarie. They're just trying to get it out. Worthy manages to center it. Akame with the challenge in the center though. Swaggy with no boost. Luna putting the pressure on now. Manages the pass to Akame. The shot, it's clean. It's classic. Macquarie put another one on the board.
4 on the board, and they are ready to soar ahead. RMIT struggling again to find an answer, but we're on to the next kickoff now. This could be the grand chance as they push straight into it. Good hit over the top there for Swaggy, trying to maneuver this one up, but Macquarie still vigilant on their defense, but maybe not for too long, and we'll push forward.
A little bit of context, Matsy. The last few weeks, like I said, this is a Macquarie side really strong on paper, really strong on paper, and honestly right now they are living up to that strength. They're living up to their reputation right now. The first couple of weeks we did see them wobbling a little bit. We did see a bit of struggle. They've dropped some games that we wouldn't have thought they would drop. They've dropped a lot of goals that we wouldn't have thought they would drop. They've missed open nets and things like that, and we were kind of wondering what had happened, but they are playing much more on point tonight. I almost wish you'd seen it so I wouldn't be talking crazy right now, but they are playing much better.
Oh, craziness is starting to look like full-blown sanity as this game plays out. I believe you, trust me. What? Let's see how the rest of the games play out. This is only game 1. Ooh, close one there for RMIT, but the defense just too strong. Second innings though, and again, it's deflected.
Ame now caught in the corner. Luna manages to bail him out. Corp with 0 boost dives for the save, but it's gone further off the backboard than he thought. Macquarie just able to keep control here. Maybe not for long as Exodus comes in, boosts in the tank, goes for the shot, but Corp does manage to get away.
Sweeping away, and they save the day. A 6th goal now locked in for Macquarie, adding further and further height to their growing tower of goals. 52 seconds to go now. RMIT have to find an answer, and quick, otherwise they'll have to go next and try again into the next map.
And Macquarie almost looking like they're on track to hit the double digits at this point, but I think time may be a little bit too elusive to be able to do so. Who knows though, a 7-1 does give them a Brazil, something they're definitely hoping for right now. Be a little disheartening. What a flick, what a pass, hold on. Very disheartening for RMIT to lose this game by so many goals at the moment. It's not looking too good for them. I'm hoping they can kind of resettle themselves and go next, but at the moment it's just looking very Macquarie dominant.
Yeah, it's a grim beginning, but there's at least a little glimmer of hope, a light at the end of the tunnel there. They can secure 1 goal back, finally finding their second, so maybe this momentum something they can play off of into this final moments here and maybe into the next map. But I think it's just a chance for them to reset, try and find recovery. But kick off once again, and Macquarie get the demo through and look to attack.
Yeah, the clock is running down. 5 seconds left. There's no doubt about it that this game is going to Macquarie. They're going to start off this series strong. 1-0 against RMIT. RMIT needing to do something to change things up here. They're needing to play a little bit better to counter Macquarie. They've made a few mistakes themselves. They haven't been playing too badly though. I think it's just a good night for Macquarie, so might need to change tactics up a little bit in the next game.
Yeah, exactly right. I think they just need to reset, try and stay calm, composed here, and just see if they can propose a different way forward. Because, I mean, they started off well, right? RMIT managed to get that opening goal there. It was looking good on paper, but the adaptability from Macquarie, just finding their own momentum, making strides immediately, just left RMIT without an answer for the longest time. And it's really imperative that they're able to kind of play the momentum in their own right heading into map 2 here, because otherwise they're going to be in for a world of pain.
Absolutely. Just taking a look at the stats as well for these two teams at the moment. Akame managing to put 4 out of Macquarie's 6 goals on the board himself, but you know, just having a look at the gameplay here, it wasn't Akame dominant. Akame obviously was able to secure those goals for Macquarie, but it was off the back of some spectacular passes from Luna and from Corp as well. So, you know, although stats-wise Akame was that breadwinner, I think all 3 players are just playing so well right now. They're so in sync. They're knowing where each other are, with blindfolds on essentially. And that kind of control of the game, that kind of read of the game is really imperative.
Need to keep it locked in and see if they can keep their eyes peeled here. Speaking of Macquarie, eyes peeled and ready to yield some results. Taking it slow and steady, Luna trying to meet them in the skies, though Worthy pushes it back. Kame is able to maneuver it to their teammates in the corner, so they have good control early on. But RMIT is doing a great job of keeping it on their side of the field.
Almost a shot off Akame there, just a little bit too wide on that one. Ball's gone back across field though. Corp's managed to get the pass across. Looking to take a shot on net. Luna goes for the bump. No boost in the tank. Doesn't manage to hit it either. We are going to go back down the other way. Luna has managed to stop at midfield though. Full boost in the tank. Can he do something here? Can he get the double? Not quite. Gets the pass off the Corp. Looking really dicey for RMIT right now, and it's only a matter of time before that ball goes in. And again, Akame, man of the night with these goals at the moment, has managed to do it.
They've come back, they've done it again, and it's going to be a great way to kick things off. Just under a minute gone down. See if they can manage to drown them out in goals again here, or if RMIT is quick to find an answer. They go on opposite sides of the scales here, but push into the corner, slow it down a little bit. It's time for the counter push from Macquarie. They've locked it in and sent it rocketing home. They zone in 2.
Definitely a little sketchy rotation here out of RMIT. You can see Worthy was right on that one. Other 2 players on the RMIT side had pushed up pretty far. Having a 3rd man up that far, you know, we talked about in prior weeks. It's obviously a tactic for teams that are, you know, teams with a lot of pace and teams that can rotate the pack quickly, but when you're not used to that style of gameplay, it can be incredibly risky.
Yeah, high risk, high reward, but it's not going to yield results this time. Worthy, though, he's managed to hold on for a second. Managed to push from the back. A good tap over the side there. Reset a bit of the pacing on the ball. Exodus now trying to push up. See if they can pass it along. Ooh, close one. Luckily they were there to recover in the end. That could have been a bit spicy.
I have to say, I'm so glad Exodus didn't turn away here just with the trust. Not that that was Swaggy's fault. The ball was a little bit high. The pass was, it was sailing a little bit high over that backboard, over that crossbar. Lucky Exodus was there to clean that one up. But good for RMIT. They are on the board in this game and reducing that goal deficit.
Exactly what they need at this stage as well. If they can manage to find another goal and clean it up for the reset, could be better, but speak too soon, because just as soon as they get one, it is stolen back. Great play around there from Macquarie. The pacing good. Unfortunately, the crossbar not favoring Exodus, and it does meet its end.
Yeah, again, that kind of high push in rotation is something that Macquarie can counter really well. It's something Luna in particular would be very, very used to playing RLCS. A lot of really high level teams playing that kind of rotation really well and capitalizing on it well. We'll go back down the other end. Now Corp's going to take it around the world. A lot of boost to do this. Going to go for the wall here. Exodus is going to get the block though. We're going to see the ball go back the other way. A shot off Swaggy. And again, RMIT are managing to battle it back a little bit.
Yeah, it's great to see the change up here. You can tell that they've started to adapt at least a little bit to the playstyle of Macquarie, because they certainly had struggles in map 1, but now they're able to retaliate. They can build something up. They just need to take that one step further now to try and tie it up, and maybe even go for a lead. Speaking of close there, Luna, luckily in the back line, does keep it afloat. The ball being dangerously close to the post.
A great opportunity in front of net there as well. Worthy, I'm not sure if he got the reset on that one, just didn't use it if he did, but nonetheless was just kind of floating in front of net there. But maybe an opportunity for RMIT here if they can keep the pressure on. Swaggy goes for the challenge. The 50 has put the ball into the midfield, but again, it just seems like Macquarie is reading that midfield play really well right now. They're able to read where the ball is going to go. They're two steps ahead of RMIT sometimes. It's not looking good for RMIT in this midfield.
Yeah, it's a tough one when your opponent's playing 2 steps ahead. You need to try and see if you can go Ultra Instinct and get 3 steps forward as Worthy locks it in for the tie-up. A 3 for 3, that's the magic number. Yes, it sure is. And we'll see who's going to be able to find the lead into the next kickoff.
Luna trying to make a jump for that one, but the bump in that corner reduced defense by a man there, allowing RMIT a little bit of space up to that goal. Luna's gonna be Luna though. Honestly, this is what I mean by some of the players we have in this competition, some of the mechy players. That reset, that control of the ball, the touch there at the end, that light touch. Just get it over RMIT's defense into net was perfect. And Luna putting Macquarie up in the lead again.
Up in the lead, they rise up, but will they be able to stay there? Good, a save coming through. Exodus close to it. Luna locked in on the back line though, trying to launch the counter-attack here, swinging back, forth, almost over the top. Good slow pacing there, but the back line is locked in.
Worthy going for a shot. Akame with the challenge though manages to keep that one away from net. Again, more 50s kind of happening in this on this edge of the field right now. Luna sends it high though. Corp with the redirect goes a little bit too high, hits that backboard, doesn't manage to secure the goal. Again, a lot of midfield play happening again. Corp trying to get it further up the field. We're going to try and see RMIT take it back, but Luna, just the pace on Luna right now to be challenging all 3 players on RMIT's side. Quite impressive.
Quite impressive, and it will net them another result. Akame solidifies the lead to 2 goals ahead now. 38 seconds remaining. And the hope is starting to fade away. RMIT desperately need to try and take 2 here to tie it up. Otherwise, it could be another one in favor of Macquarie.
I don't know how many rounds in CS or how many rounds you'd consider to be a good buffer for one team to be an advantage of the other, but in Rocket League, I always say 1 goal's not a buffer. 2 goals, really not a buffer, but when you've got 30 seconds left, it's a decent buffer. Usually, you know, most teams would be comfortable with 3, because 2, you can get a little bit too overconfident. With 10 seconds left on the clock, this is looking like a Macquarie game again. Make that 5 seconds. They're just going to hold this ball in the midfield. Maybe take one last shot. Corp does get bumped though, unable to do it. Luna's going to take it back around again. Look for that pass off. Does get it there. No teammate to secure the goal. Doesn't matter. Macquarie take the second game.
They will be able to find their spark once again here. It was looking like it could have gone maybe a different direction, but they do lock it in the end there. So, big props to RMIT for managing to find themselves in that second game, but unfortunately for them, it just wasn't enough. Macquarie adapt again and managed to find the momentum to take it over the line, putting them so close to potentially taking this series away. And again, the pressure's on RMIT to try and deliver some kind of response here, because otherwise it's just all looking good for Macquarie.
Yeah, RMIT obviously hoping for the reverse sweep here. It's a difficult thing to do. It's not impossible, but this is going to be quite difficult on any given day, let alone coming up against a team of Macquarie's caliber. But I do think RMIT have some fire in them. We saw them warm up a lot more in that second game as compared to the first game. And I think the thing that's really cool is those stats are shared around. They had a goal each. They had a number of saves each. All three of these players are really talented. On other nights, I'd say there's been a standout player. Tonight, I'd say there's no clear standout player from RMIT. And the cool thing about that is that it means that there's no one particular player to target as a threat. All three of these players can perform. They just need to find their rhythm.
Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work there. We'll see if their dreams are going to come true heading into this one. A good pacing already from Luna, stopped by a Worthy. But the timing isn't over yet. RMIT try and press it upfield. Quarry ready in the back line though to try and respond. A Worthy demoed out, so going to be close to the goal to try and respond themselves here. But already back and forth endeavour has reached its beginning.
Yeah, definitely quite a pendulum swing sometimes, isn't it? Just watching the ball go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But eventually some shots are taken. Ame making that save on the crossbar there. Exodus putting the pressure on though. RMIT is not going to relent. They've taken a number of shots already. But again, when you push up your rotation like that, the ball's just going to go back down the other way. Luna making himself a dangerous threat right now, but again, just pendulum swing, Matthew. Oh my.
Swinging close, RMIT, lock it in. Swaggy playing off the crossbar, and they find the first.
What an insane read. What a dunk from Swaggy there. Corp definitely not expecting that one. Wow, wow, wow. RMIT have definitely stepped it up a little bit this game. Definitely Swaggy is doing so. Again, just the read on that, to be able to get that dunk is so impressive, and then finish off the shot against another defender in net. Props to Swaggy for that one.
Yeah, props were there due, and it's going to be another one locked in by Swaggy. They just can't get enough of this. Really good reader playing off the wall there. They managed to push it through into the sunset.
Macquarie definitely fumbling a little bit on that one. That's the kind of rotation I was talking about before, where they push up really high. We've seen Macquarie play that really well though, and managed to get themselves back in time, but maybe a little bit boost starved. I think Luna was sitting in front there without anything playing. RMIT, maybe that's a bit of a tactic they've got going on at the moment. They're keeping an eye on those pads. They are stealing them from Macquarie and leaving them without anything in the tank.
They're just going to be trying their best to see if they can find some kind of an answer, but the answer is found. Macquarie lock in their first there. Great demo, playing straight around the side, not giving them much time to figure out a response, and they find the perfect line.
3 minutes 20 left on the clock. Plenty of time for anything to happen here. Our first game was very high scoring. I think we had 8 goals total at the end of game 1. Only 3 in this third game, so still plenty of time here. Luna having to make a diving save on that one. Absolutely fighting for his life there. Sorry, trying to get it out. Managed to do so. A nice clear to the backboard from Akame. There's going to be a follow-up with 3 defenders there, making sure that one is not going to go to the internet.
Yeah, get that thing as far away as possible. Exactly what they're going to try and do, but Macquarie repel it back towards RMIT's side of field here. Corp tries to push it up, but it is diverted close away. Not able to lock in a line to go for a shot just yet.
Worthy trying to get this one away from goal. Very aware of the fact that we have some Macquarie players lurking. Corp was ready for that shot indeed. Go back down the way though. Luna trying to get this ball out. Does get bumped by Worthy. Swaggy bumping Akame as well. It's aggressive play starting to happen. It's physical. It's only a matter of time before this ball goes in. It's not yet.
The time hasn't arrived just yet, but it could be close around the corner. They try and garner further strength of pushing upfield now. Good defense from Exodus stops them from pushing any further, but the attack's not over yet.
No, it is not. Exodus trying to get this ball past Macquarie in the midfield again. Going for this centre pass off the corner. Luna there, Akame ready to take the shot again. RMIT just seeming to play a much more solid defense now than they were the first couple of games, not making as many mistakes as they were either. Challenging Macquarie on the backboard, challenging them in the midfield, getting those 50s to get the ball out has been so crucial for this side right now.
Certainly has found its crucial nature, but speaking of crucial, it's crucial that Macquarie finds an answer within the next minute. Otherwise, it could be RMIT putting themselves on the map here. Speaking of on the map, oh, they're taking over the map. It's just a demolition derby from Swaggy.
That it is indeed. Less than a minute left on the clock now. It is starting to get a little bit more dicey. It's starting to get desperate right now. RMIT want to hang on to this lead. They do not want to get swept in this series. Macquarie, on the other hand, absolutely wanting to get the sweep, wanting to show that they are a team to fear indeed. Running now down to 30 seconds. It is looking like this could go RMIT's way, but Macquarie definitely going to have something to say about that.
Yeah, they're going to be seeking a swift answer, and will they be able to find it in the next 20 seconds now? It all comes down to this. Pressing up the corner, good to try and pass it off. Defense is locked and loaded though. A solid shot downfield. But they are able to defend valiantly. And it's the last moment. Will this be their time?
Gonna see a centered ball here. Worthy's gonna do everything to get the ball away. Swaggy's gonna drop it down, and he does manage to do so. RMIT, they're not gonna be swept tonight. They still want this series. They are hungry for a win here. They've got a lot to do to battle it out against Macquarie, to have to reverse sweep this one, but they're on their way if they can hang on to this momentum.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the switch up coming into this map here. Like, Swaggy was just on fire in the initial stages, and they managed to play off that, really hold on so tight. And it does allow them one further chance at recovery here. So RMIT going to be very happy to get a result on the board there. But Macquarie still one step away from potentially stealing it away from them. So RMIT can't afford to get complacent here just because they managed to win one map. They've still got a hefty journey ahead of them.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be a it's an interesting mental game going on here, and maybe I'm just reading it wrong, but RMIT, they're going to want to hang on to those tactics they just employed. They're going to want to hang on to that momentum. Obviously, Swaggy doing incredibly well as a first man in that game, managing to skewer a couple of incredible goals. Definitely a lot more skilled than we saw in the first couple of games. Macquarie, on the other hand, like I said, this is a very talented team, Matsy. These players know how to change it up and adapt to a team when they need to. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a completely different play style out of them right now, and that could really throw a spanner in the works for RMIT.
Absolutely, but away we go. It's time to get into the fun house again and see who will land the first strike here. Nothing too quick on its way yet, but don't speak too soon. It could be in. No, it's not Worthy. So close.
Oh no, that just a millimeter, a tiny millimeter, and that ball was sinking. But we heard that, the new update, we heard that ding as the ball hit that bar and rebounded out. And so Swaggy looking a little dangerous, pushing up there. Worthy with an almost shot on net. Going to keep the ball in the RMIT end, though starting to see a little bit of mishap from Macquarie.
Trying to cause a bit of mishap, a bit of mayhem, and we'll see if that calamity will yield the result that it will. It's Exodus taking it through there. Well played for RMIT again.
Quarry just looking super awkward all of a sudden. Again, just like not the play I'm expecting out of these three players, particularly after the first couple of games. They don't seem to have the consistency that I would expect out of them this series. And this was the question we had in the first 2 weeks, Batsy, where Formal and I were confused about the playstyle that was going on because the consistency just wasn't there. And here's me thinking at the start of this series, okay, they've found it. They've found their groove. They've found their rhythm. But RMIT really starting to challenge them at the moment, really starting to throw them out of their groove.
Yeah, they're getting thrown out of rhythm and they aren't able to bring back the symphony here. We'll see if they can manage to restring their bows though and get back into the swing of things as they try and pace it upfield. No boost, no problem. They've got teammates waiting close by.
Exodus now. Little bit of boost in the tank, enough to challenge Corp on that one. Worthy and Swaggy, just no boost either of these players. Swaggy, I'm kind of surprised they're jumping for that one without any boost. Luna on the backboard though, does manage to get the save. Akame going to try and take it back down the other end. Thought he was almost going to go for a musty there, fakes it out, gets the flip reset. The ball is still in a dangerous position. Luna goes a little too wide though, and RMIT saved by the bell on that one.
Saved by the bell, but is it going to be saved long enough? Close call coming through from Akame there, but they will be able to get it up again. Still, relentless aggression coming through from Macquarie. Are they going to be able to find an answer here? Because RMIT, they keep responding so swiftly.
Yeah, swiftly indeed, aren't they? They're just both teams playing very solid right now. Very interesting game. They're managing, I feel like there's a decent amount of mistakes happening out of both sides, but equally a decent amount of pressure when they go back down the other way. It's definitely a confusing one to get a good read on. Akame going to try and take it back down the other end. Looks for Luna. Again, no boost in the tank. Worthy does manage to get a touch on that one to get it away. Akame with the shot. Confusion happening in RMIT's defense. And Akame equalizing this game.
Finding the equalizer, a much needed response there. Macquarie were looking a bit lost, but they do manage to be found. Just under 2 minutes to go now. It's their time to get cracking, their time to see if they can lock something else in. RMIT one and the same, but control for Akame certainly lost quick. Luna ready and waiting though, plays pacing well to keep control here. RMIT ready in the back line, primed up for defense and could clear things out.
Just the control on the ball at the moment out of Macquarie makes me think that they have the edge here, but it's looking dicey. Luna with the save on that side wall, but the pressure is put on by RMIT again. Let's look at the replay here. Swaggy looking like he was going to go for a shot, hits the backboard, ball drops down to Worthy, and RMIT have put themselves in the lead in this in this fourth game.
Yeah, presses them ahead here and not looking to rest anytime soon. If RMIT can pull this one out, they will tie up the series. 2 games apiece, pushing us all the way to game 5 here. But this could be the opportunity Macquarie were waiting for from downtown. They even it up 2 for 2.
This happened last game until that final goal by RMIT, but it just seems that anytime RMIT manage to put themselves in the league, Macquarie decides to equalize it very swiftly, might I add. Happened a couple of times already. They just have an answer for any goal RMIT does manage to put on board.
See if those answers are going to keep getting delivered here as they push so closely, and there it is! Macquarie slip it over the corner and lock in the lead. 50 seconds to go. Swaggy trying to stop it, but it slices its way in.
Yeah, just that angle from Exodus to hit it off that corner. Maybe RMIT not quite expecting that one to go in the net, maybe hoping for it to bounce out, but it does do so. Or hitting this ball off the sidewall, looking for a Kame. Kame going for an insane double. Doesn't go in. No teammate there to finish that one off. That would have been one of the goals of the night for me. But nonetheless, we continue with this game. Macquarie are in the lead still. RMIT maybe with an open net opportunity there. Doesn't go for the shot. 20 seconds left on the clock, Matsy. RMIT are going to have to do something fast.
Need to go fast and need to go aggressive. Oh, it's so close, but it's stopped.
No, that was it, Matsy. That was it. That was RMIT's opportunity to take this game to OT. Not a chance in the world that Macquarie are going to let this ball go up the other end. I was going to say they're going to let it drop, but never mind. They're going to put one more on the board themselves and make this a 4-2 game. Macquarie 3-1 in this series are our winners tonight.
My gosh, rubbing salt in the wound after preventing that goal and taking one of their own. That's a way to get it done there for Macquarie. And they lock that in triumphantly. What a great victory from them. I was getting a bit worried, towards the later stages of that series. I thought, oh, maybe could we see it? Could we see RMIT reverse things up? But no. Macquarie, they lock it in. They show them that they mean business.
I'm glad RMIT did go down swinging, though. They weren't wanting that series to be a sweep, so definitely an impressive feat in the end. But Macquarie just looking stronger and stronger by the week. I'm excited to see how the rest of the season goes. Like I said, last season, very UNSW dominant, but they have some challenges this season, Macquarie being one of them. So very, very exciting to see how this team progresses.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited to see as well how the team progresses and how the leaderboard's going to shape up heading towards the midway as well as the end of the season. I think that as the games progress, we're certainly going to see a very different dynamic as things really play out here. But it's certainly exciting times ahead. This is just the beginning.
Absolutely. 3 weeks in, there is still plenty of action yet to come, and the more and more the season goes on, obviously the more dire it is for these teams. But that being said, every win counts, and that's the exciting thing about Uni League is these teams will all play each other once, and that's it. Until you match up against each other again in playoffs. This is it. These series matter so much, and I think we kind of, the players maybe don't think about that as much at the start of the season. It's like, oh, it's new season. We'll just get a feel for the other teams, but this is so important. So yeah, it'll be more telltale towards the end of the season, but wins like this are definitely what you want to have on your sleeve going into the rest of the season.
Absolutely. I feel like the early wins that you're able to lock in on the board there compound towards your overall placement heading towards the end of the season or the finals there. So it's definitely important to get these early wins in, because if you have a bit of a mixed bag of results heading towards the later stages of the season, then it really becomes critical, almost too critical, for teams to try and get some further results in there. And the pressure could be too much, for some rosters. Whereas if you allow yourself a bit more breathing room while being able to lock in some wins earlier in the piece, then at least you can have confidence that you will be able to place where you want to, or you've at least got a bit of breathing room where if you do take the odd loss or two towards the end, you still know that you're able to place well.
Absolutely. And with a game like Rocket League, we know how important confidence is. Rocket League it's mostly a mental game. Obviously you've got to have the skill, you've got to have the mechanics to be a top player, but there's a lot of it is the mental game, so you can't discount that.
Yeah, certainly something to consider. And let's hear all about these considerations as we have just the person to hear about it. It's Luna.
Yo, what's going on, guys? How are we?
Yeah, pretty good. How are you going?
Yeah, going well. Nice little victory. Pretty happy. Can't ever be disappointed about a win.
Yeah, no, understandable. How did you feel going into that series? Were you guys confident? We were just talking about confidence and how important it is in Rocket League. Were you confident going into RMIT?
Yeah, we're always confident going into it. So, I don't know. AEL is pretty good. In terms of the teams we verse, we're pretty confident. Whoever we verse, so we should be able to win. So, always confident whether we don't really scrim or anything like that. I've heard other teams are scrimming, which is kind of a good thing. I'm not gonna lie, like helps bring the competition up a bit. But so far we're pretty confident going into the whole tournament.
Yeah, it's great to get your insights on that. And I guess as the season progresses, do you feel like some of the teams will be able to face you with a bit more confidence behind them? Like, do you think we'll have more closer endeavors, like similarly to what we kind of saw a glimpse of there with RMIT?
Yeah, I don't know, not really. I think we should be able to wipe through this tournament. Hopefully, we're confident regardless. Like, hopefully teams get better though. Like that team was better than my expectations, and yeah, for the like they got a game off us. We did have an incentive if we did sweep the series, and we're pretty mad that we didn't. So kind of sucks that we didn't.
No, definitely. I mean, I was going to ask about training before. You said you guys haven't been scrimming, but outside of it, have you guys been doing some individual training? Obviously, we know about your run with RLCS, and Akame has his own achievements as well. How is that? How is just your individual training looking like at the moment?
Yeah, like we all do our individual stuff. I'm not sure how much Corp A does. I don't think Ray plays that much either. But me and Akame play a fair bit. Like Akame's always in the rank scene playing twos. I think he's got a team for RCS and everything as well. Same with myself. Like we're always grinding, always got a fair bit of hours. Like I had 2 hours of scrims going into this as well with like my actual roster as well. So I was definitely warmed up.
No, that's great to see that you're bringing in that fiery gameplay, and definitely excited to see more of it going forward. But I guess branching off into those games there, what do you feel like went wrong in terms of for your team there, that the other team was able to take some points off you?
We just got really relaxed. Like we weren't coming or anything. So there's no really communication between us. We were just kind of playing like it was ranked. And then we just kind of like woke up and said, look, we need to win. Just wake up, communicate. Literally communication is key to winning. So as soon as we started communicating, it was literally just all over for him.
No, fair enough. And I guess one final question. And it's the question that has been playing on our minds, particularly Formula and I have been talking about it as kind of one of the matches of the season to come up. I know you said you're confident, but UNSW, that is a solid team. I know they're also confident. They're our reigning champs from last season as well. Zen, obviously, ex-MQU. How do you think that's going to go? Do you think that you guys are going to need to change pace a little bit against UNSW? Do you feel confident against them?
We're confident, like I said. No pressure on us at all. We should beat them. Last time I played AEL, we won as well, pretty swiftly as well. Me, Zen, and Baz. But now, no more Zen, which kind of sucks. But Akame and Corpe are better anyway. Same with Ray, so we should dominate. We should just dominate.
Might need to avoid a few demos with Zen on the other side.
Yeah, no, for sure. Sure, that's the one thing you got to worry for. But nah, we're confident going into any team with us, including them as well.
Good to know.
Excited to see what you guys are going to be able to pull through for the rest of the season. And yeah, big congrats once again there, Luna. Excited for what's ahead. And yeah, do you have any final words?
No, that's it. Good luck with the stream, guys. Good luck with the casting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well. Confidence is the key word, hey?
Absolutely. Confidence is key, and they're able to break through and take away 3 there to take away the series. So happy days for them. And yeah, very excited to see the big matchup, like you said, heading into the future of the season. It'll be fun games ahead. But speaking of fun games, we got more on the horizon, but we're going to find out all about them right after this break. Welcome back, everybody, to AEL University Elite Series for Rocket League. It's Matsy and Morgie back with you after an incredible first series of the night. I am just absolutely pumped up after that one. And Morgie, how are you feeling?
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely the same. Again, we've got so many games tonight that are going to be so close, or on paper, they're supposed to be so close. So when you have a 3-1, do you know what I mean? It's a little scary for some of the other teams, I reckon. So definitely an exciting start to this one. And I think now we're going to take a look at our second game as well. Obviously coming up just now, we've got Griffith versus UTS. Again, another neck and neck teams on the neck and neck series of teams on the ladder. Yeah, do you have any major thoughts on this one, Matsy?
Well, when I look at Griffith, I always think of the Goblins, and I love to see a logo like that. I've got confidence behind the Goblins this time. You know, always love to see the Goblins. But speaking of Goblins, let's take a look at who the Goblins are. It's going to be extremely washed up. Hey, that's me. It's Exile and Trank as well, representing the roster. So big shout out to Griffith, but UTS, Stimpy, Spring Hopper, and Baz.
And both of these rosters tonight not playing with their full main roster. Obviously, you can see Trank, I guess the sub or that fourth man on Griffith subbed in tonight, and UTS having Baz as well. Stimpy and Spring Hopak are some names that we've seen last season, good names from this season, extremely washed up, a great player, Exile as well. So it's interesting that both teams, you know what I mean? If one of these teams had a sub tonight, I would be a little bit wary. Not to say anything against subs. We have some incredible subs in the league, but just not having that usual rhythm and that gel with a sub being thrown into the mix can really throw a team off. But both of those teams in that position tonight, so I think this one's probably going to be really tight. I think this will be a full-length series.
We almost saw one in the last one, so certainly hopeful that this one can take us the full distance, deliver the goods. I love a juicy series, and I reckon, like you said, this one is going to go all the way. But we'll see what the Knights, or what the Goblins rather, what UTS have to say about that. It's going to be exciting times ahead, and certainly keen to see just how long they are going to be able to draw this one out. But going back to the rosters there, I want to pick your brain a bit, I suppose, on Griffith. I feel like I've seen Exile's name before. Would you say that they're one of the longest standing players for the team?
I think that might be a different player. And I'll openly admit I only came into the league as a regular caster last season. I'd subbed a couple before that. I think we had an Exile on RMIT. So not the same player, but then, you know, the name floats around. We've got a few similar names in the league.
Absolutely. Oh, well, just, you know, I was just thinking back for a second there, but good to see that even if the same player isn't there, the name lives on in other teams. But speaking of teams, we're primed up into the kickoff. It's Stimpy looking to push ahead. Defense are going to be waiting them out, though, and ready to deliver the goods.
And Trank going for that first shot from Griffith, but extremely washed up, going to be the one who secures it and puts that one on the board. The block here from Bass just not going where he wants it to. Ball's gone into that corner. Funny enough, all three UTS defenders in that one corner, and the ball still has gone in for Griffith.
Absolutely great to see they are able to push ahead in the end there. Themselves on the board nice and quickly, and we'll see if they are going to be able to push on even more. They hold back for a second. Good distance over the corner there, but the clearance from Baz is going to be good as well. Still struggling to push it out here. UTS do at least find an opening.
They have indeed. Griffith trying to get this ball away from net at the moment. UTS doing pretty well to keep the pressure on. Exile is going to take this ball through to attack, though. Does get the flip reset. Shots a little wide. Extremely washed up, taking it to the corner. Maybe going to get challenged here on the wall. The challenge from Stimpy results in a shot. Looked like he was just going for the 50 up on that wall, looking to pass it into center, but nonetheless, the angle was perfect and the ball's gone in.
that's right, they do manage to take it through. So, 1 for 1, they will be able to pull it together, evening things up, settling the score here, and you'll see what else they are going to be able to bring into the mix as they hold it back. Waiting over the crossbar, and they find the dunk. Stimpy, good for it.
Stimpy 2 on the board already. What a shot here. The angle on this shot to be able to go up with that much pace into the air, get the slightest little touch off the very edge of the car and send that one pinball down into net. Definitely an impressive shot, and UTS have put themselves in the lead.
By 1, but for how long? Still plenty of time on the board here, and plenty more opportunities to present themselves. A little bit of distance from Exile and Trank there, pushing it over the mid-line, trying to yield a further result. Trank good on the other side of the field, though. They're looking to lock something in with their team, but the defense is good. Clear it out for a second, not allowing anyone to gain any ease of entry.
Looking like it is a bit of a stalemate at the moment as teams kind of battle it out. Again, similar to last series in this midfield. I'm going to go back down the other way with Griffith, the Spring Hopak in the air to block that one. Maybe a shot about to come out of Trank. Going to go for the ground pinch. Spring Hopak almost puts that in an awkward position for his teammates. Made it harder to reach for that one. Extremely washed up with the pop, but Baz managing to get that one out.
Just to swing it out, and we'll see if they can manage to swing something in. Exile ready now with their teammates, pushing over the left side. It does have opponents to consider. Forced out as well. Loving the physicality there. No demo as a result.
Shot on from Baz, but a save from Trank. Nazi, maybe a little bit off topic here. I'm going to openly admit I struggle, I don't know why, every single time saying Griffith. It's like I can't pronounce it properly anytime I manage to say it. But Griffith, I cannot say it. Doesn't matter. We're going to say UTS instead as Baz comes in and puts another one on the board.
That's it. Don't have to say Griffith or Gryffindor, as it will be UTS opening the door to a goal. So we'll see if they are going to lock in another one. The Goblins hold back a second longer. Stimpy ready to assault though. Pushes over the side. Teammates ready to glide ahead as well. Baz in the corner. Spring will spring ahead, but we reach a stalemate. Ball comes swinging back.
Again, UTS just playing the smarter game at the moment, kind of keeping that ball a little closer when they need to, making sure they're keeping an eye out for Griffith's attack. A shot from Baz almost looked like it was going a little bit too wide there, but the angle was good. It was all he needed to skewer that ball, put it in the net, and UTS are now up 4-1 in this first game.
4-1 and having a lot of fun. We'll see if they can manage to take it to take a dive in through this one as Stimpy ready to receive yields results in the skies. Exiles the ball down to the earth again though. Looks to take the pacing more slowly, but an opening presents itself straight to UTS.
Almost looking a little too easy right now for UTS. Baz with a little pop-up. Extremely washed up, no boost in the tank. Exile also no boost in the tank. Trank had a little bit, but it was just that little bit too far away. No one jumping for that one. It was a nice, easy secure for UTS.
Fusion secured, and maybe more to follow. Stimpy not looking to wallow on this one. A ball already going back to their side of the field though, so they have to spring ahead here and see. Manage to find their way forth, pushing past Exile and locking it in for 6. One step closer to the deadly scoreline. See if they can deliver the killing blow.
Very reminiscent of our first game in that first series at the moment, where we have one team up by so many goals right now. There's no doubt in my mind that this will be getting to Griffith a little bit. They will be a little deflated after this match. Hopefully they can still bring it back in the next one, but it's looking like it will be a very dominant UTS game.
UTS definitely looking pretty solid for the moment, and we'll see. They are going to be able to bring even more to fruition here. 39 seconds on the clock. Griffith, time to lock in if they want to try and find even a slither of recovery here, but the opportunities dwindling by the second. UTS trying to beckon themselves to take another.
20 seconds left on the clock. There is no winning this one for Griffith now, but hopefully a goal on the board will give them a little bit of much needed momentum going into the next game. It is looking very one-sided at the moment, I do have to say, from UTS, but if we know Griffith well enough, we know that they are a team who can bring it back when they are down, so wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit more fight out of them in the next game, but at the moment, it's looking like it's going to be UTS for this win.
That's right, great to start on the first foot forward there, as they will be able to yield the 6-1 result. So certainly time to reflect for Griffith here. We'll see if they are going to be able to take a step back and inject some solid goals into this second game here. Because it's a tough beginning, but they've still got a bit of breathing room before we reach the end.
Yeah, a little bit of breathing room. We saw RMIT come back swinging in that first series against Macquarie, so it's definitely not all over just yet, although UTS are looking very, very solid at the moment. As our non-main roster player, our sub of the night, coming in clutch with landing himself on the top of the leaderboard with 2 goals, 5 saves, playing both ends of the field at the moment. Spring Hopak, who I would say is usually... this team is decently solid, but Spring Hopak has his moments and can be that solid player, can be that standout player on the team, but a little quieter to begin with. So I think maybe we may see a little more of him coming into the series. So I think, yeah, it's scary that UTS can only get stronger than they were just playing.
Exactly right. You know, they haven't even reached the full extent to their capabilities there. They can only continue to ascend, to arise to the occasion. And it's time for Griffith to try and deliver some results of their own here. We jump straight into it. Exile. Good maneuvering over the top there. Sends it straight to UTS's side of the field. They aren't able to find an angle off it. At least they give themselves a bit of time to breathe in the early end of the piece.
Frank Shadow defending that ball there was looking a little bit scary. Never mind, it's going to look scary down the other way with this Shadow defense as well from Spring Hopak on the ball here. Had enough boost in the tank, came off that sidewall. I can see a little bit awkward there. Thrown out of momentum a little bit as he went for the save, but it swung the other way and Griffith are off to an early lead.
Off to an early lead and look to speed ahead. Will they be able to continue to find momentum though? Certainly going to be tested here. Baz, good to push ahead. A great response from Trank, but it leaves openings in the backline. Exile trying to conclude it, but it's just not meant to be.
No, he did manage to get that one out, and UTS playing with the ball right now, trying to keep it away from Griffith. They don't want to allow Griffith to get a second one on the board and have that lead and have that momentum. Impy, full boost in the tank here, manages to leave the other boost pad for Baz. Definitely very well communicated. Baz going up, swing and a miss on that one. Spring Hopak with control now going for this double. Can he sink it? No, not quite.
Not today. It's meant to swing the other way. And Frank ready to push back, try and go for a goal against their opponents here. Good that they can pass back to Exile though. Baz, nice touch. Big save comes through as well, but momentum slowing down could open things up for UTS. It will. They bless the scoreboard and even it up 1-1.
High ball game in this second game of the series. Very well played there by UTS, managing to keep control of that one. Baz coming in that very left corner there to secure that goal. Wide game indeed. Baz looking for another one though. He's hungry. He's trying to take out all of these defenders. Swing and a miss on that pass as well. It was looking good. Still in possession for UTS though, but not if Trankins have anything to say about it. Going back the other way, can we see a shot out of Extremely Washed Up? Just goes a little wide.
They're not going to be able to find it this time, but there's an opening now for Spring Hopak. Good to clear them out, however. Here's a Griffith. They look to counter-attack just as quick. Stimpy, great on the defense though, sends it to the corner.
As on that backboard, playing a little dangerous here, kind of dangling it in front of Griffith. Got to be careful with those ones. Got to keep that ball close when there are impending attackers. Ball has gone to the center. Spring Hopak again looking for the double. Does manage to get it this time. Not going to miss the second one. Look at this play one more time. The power on that ball. Send it to the backboard. Gets a light touch off the bottom of his car. Sends it past Trank into the net. Impressive goal out of UTS, and they are now in the lead.
In the lead, no signs that they look to concede any speed here as they push ahead and respond immediately. UTS push on for another.
UTS, a little bit of a slow start to this second game, but they're steaming ahead now. They want this one. They're looking for the sweep. They're looking for our first sweep of the night. It didn't happen in the first series. They want it in this second one against Griffith. They want to make a statement. They want to say that we are the better team. We are not neck and neck. We are going to take this series. And it's looking good for them right now.
Looking good and could even look great if they keep this one up. A good stoppage in the air though allows them to send it straight to the opposition side of the field there. Stimpy good to clear as well. Playing off it, Spring Hopak sends it to the midfield. Slowing it. Stimpy's pressing on. There's no signs of stopping here. An opening on the horizon. Baz not able to lock it down.
Trying to seek the net there, but just not enough to finish it. As off the backboard gets a massive clear, trying to get that across to Stimpy, who was a little bit awkward backwards on that one. Never mind, Spring Hopak is still going to keep possession, takes it the other way. A nice touch. I don't know if that was all meant to be the way it happened, but nonetheless, UTS have scored this one. A great touch out of Spring Hopak actually. As with the follow-up off Trank's miss there, and UTS are up 4-1 in the second game.
Up 4-1 and nowhere near done. 1 minute 22. Let's see if there's a breakthrough for Griffith here. They hold on in the back line there. Stimpy though, dangling it in front of them, pushing it over and under, but extremely washed up. Pushes it under. Stimpy on the clearance though. It's time to play the game.
Another double attempt coming out of Stimpy. I feel like that is UTS's attacking play right now, is double after double. They are putting one on after the other, putting that pressure on Griffith, who are starting to flail a little bit in front of this net. Another shot goes on, but Trank there jumping for that save. Looking a little bit dicey for Griffith right now. I feel like at this point it is GG's unless UTS do something really, really quickly here. They'll need a couple of kickoff goals as well just to equalize. Otherwise, this is just going the way of UTS again.
Yeah, they need something at this point. They need to find an answer. Or it could be over and out and onwards to game 3 within the blink of an eye. As we now head into 10 seconds remaining. Time is ticking. And it's almost reached the full conclusion. Stimpy holding on to the skies. A rise and the ball hits the floor. And we shut the door on that one. 4-1 UTS. Take it.
Impressive performance indeed out of UTS. They are looking dominant right now. They're looking solid. They're looking controlled. They are composed. They feel like they have this one in the bag at this point. And again, looking at the leaderboard, I know points obviously don't mean everything, but look how similar they are at the moment. Points-wise, goals-wise, save-wise, these three players are just playing so well right now. They're really, really gelling. I did think this was going to be a closer series, and I think Griffith still does have that fire in them, but UTS are just not making any mistakes right now.
Yeah, they're locked in, and you can really see it. You know, it's not just like there's one outstanding player either. Like, they're all able to lock in and deliver results. You know, it's a well-oiled machine there. They're just really showcasing their synergy, and it's just so impressive to see that they're able to yield the results in unison there. But definitely excited to see what game three could indeed look like, as well as this could be the chance for the Goblins to strike back, or it could be the end of their journey for the evening.
Yeah, definitely going to need to make some changes really, really quick and adapt to this UTS side, because UTS have just got Griffith on that back foot at the moment. I didn't mention it before, but Griffith just with 3 shots in last game compared to UTS's 8. I feel like I jinx things sometimes, Matsy. I start talking about how good one team is or how another team is lacking, and then they come back 6 seconds into a game and they score.
Yeah, the Goblins, you know, when things get tough, it's where they can shine the brightest, and we'll see. They are going to be able to find even more out of this one. A close one, good defense coming out from Spring Hoback though, but it's not the end of the attack here. Trank's ready, pushing it on to the crossbar. Stimpy clears it out though. It's time to get back on the defense.
You see Exile with the pass to extremely washed up, looking for that center, but 2 defenders from UTS on that backboard, ready to get that one out. A pass to Spring Hopack right there was almost looking dangerous for UTS. Another shot attempt, but extremely washed up. Rushing to that ball. I think, Matsy, we're starting to see a lot more pace out of Griffith right now. I'm just worried that with more pace they could play a little messier, but at the moment it seems to be working really well for them.
Yeah, seems to be working really well. They seem to be able to spell themselves some results, but see what else is going to be around the bend here. Baz, good to keep it in the corner. Trank now looking to strike back though. Did have a teammate in center, but the demo from Baz allows them to swing it back.
Ball has gone to the center. Baz there with the follow-up. BC Exile putting that one to the side though, trying to get it away from their net at the moment. Trank with a pass off the sidewall as well. No teammate there ready to receive that one. Going to go back down the way of UTS, but again, Griffith's just playing much more solid defense right now, sitting on the backboard, being really wary of those doubles. Seems to be really critical play.
Play on the given day, and see if they can manage to save the day. Exile was good to pass it off, but they aren't able to lock it in there, so Baz going to clear it out now. Good to cause a stoppage, is extremely washed up. Exile ready in the center, but Spring Hopack sends it back.
Trank with the high ball here. Baz meets that one on the roof though. At the moment, it's looking like, I was going to say Griffith putting on some pressure, but they have retreated a little bit, and we're going to see UTS progress up to that goal. The goal is going to be credited to Spring Hopack. What a team play here. Baz with the flick. Stimpy jumped as well, maybe a little bit too short on that one. But Spring Hopack with enough height on that ball secures UTS to tie up this game.
All tied up and ready to fire up. Exile holding back for now. Will be able to rely on their teammates to push it forward. Yes, needs to swing it back though. Trank, make sure they don't give an opportunity here. Exile ready to steal it away. Now, look, steal ahead and see if they can take some control, but no. Good maneuvering from UTS and keeps it at bay.
Stimpy going back and down the other direction. Trank fighting for his life on that one, trying to get it away from 3 impending UTS players. All 3 of them kind of lurking here, trying to bump him, trying to throw him off. But at the end of the day, it is a lovely shot from Baz, who secures UTS the lead.
Secure the lead and managing to push on, giving it their all here. See if they can manage to hold on to it. Griffith, 2 minutes remain. More opportunities on the horizon. Time's not done yet, and we'll see. They are going to be able to keep up the pressure here. Ball hits back towards center field, extremely washed up, but trying to find some kind of way in. Exile is left to deliver now.
Going to the wall again on this one. Spring Hopak taking it back. Can he get the reset? He does manage it. That is a homing missile on net. Trank a little bit caught out here like a deer in headlights. Doesn't know what to do. Sees Spring Hopak, gets that reset. Doesn't jump in time though. Maybe not initially trusting it. What a goal out of Spring Hopak. And again, UTS have secured a solid lead.
Solid lead and no sign of trying to concede. It's time for them to lock in. Snippy, hook, line, and sinker. They lock it in for 4.
What an angle! Backboard straight down from Stimpy. That's not something you see every day. That is a hard angle to score from. But nonetheless, the man, the myth, the legend, he manages to do it. UTS are just looking way too strong for Griffith right now.
And their strength only continues to bolster as this game plays out. It's like they're just only hitting the accelerator. No sign of the brakes at all. But could be coming down just as quick. Oh, Baz good for the epic save there. Manages to push it up again. Trank good to collect it, but they're not able to deflect it all the way back just yet. Exile good to center it through. Stimpy clears it out though.
Say the best offense is a good defense, or the best defense is a good offense. No matter which way it goes, both are important in Rocket League. And as we can see, Baz or UTS in general have been doing really well. Not in that play in particular, leaving the goal a little bit open here. We'll see a demo happening on that right side of the field as well. UTS not making it back to that one. Easy goal for Griffith, and that scoreline is decreasing a little bit.
Yeah, it's giving themselves a little bit more breathing room there, but time starting to slip away from them. They need to lock in, get something moving and quick. Otherwise, this series could be right behind them within the blink of an eye. They need to reach for the sky and fly away.
Almost another shot there on target. That one looked like it was going to fly into net, but not quite. Not enough power on that one at the end of the day. 10 seconds, almost 5 seconds now. Unlucky for Griffith in this game here. It is going to go the way of UTS. They have been the better team tonight. They have secured this win as well in dominant fashion. UTS have made quite the statement against Griffith.
They've made a big statement and, you know, they mean absolute business. So great stuff coming out from UTS there. They remain ever consistent all through the series. And they managed to take the big victory. Hard work has paid off. Unfortunate for Griffith, though. You saw some little glimmers of hope there. And I think they're heading into future weeks. This is a great game or great series that they can reflect on to try and make some changes.
Yeah, definitely not a terrible performance from Griffith. I think it's almost kind of unfortunate for them how on point UTS were playing tonight. We did see some mistakes out of Griffith. Again, not their main roster, but neither was UTS's either. They've got to keep that one in mind. But UTS just really solid performance tonight. Maybe they have been practicing with the sub, who knows? But that was really smooth.
Yeah, really smooth, and definitely eager to see just how smooth that's going to be heading into the future weeks as well. You know, there's definitely more room for improvement and for great results ahead. I'm definitely excited to see how they can maneuver over whatever obstacles they may be faced with or not faced with. But certainly fun times ahead. I am certain of that.
Oh, absolutely. A very strong team. Fun time ahead for both teams, actually. I think it's interesting with this kind of middle pack of teams, Matsy, because like we spoke about it before. We touched on it before, how important games are at the beginning of the season. You know, a lot of teams don't necessarily think about that. You know, we'll win, we'll lose. Kind of, they assume it matters more towards the end of the season, but every single win counts. And at the moment, for some of these teams sitting in that middle pack, it's all the more dire for them to win against other teams in that middle pack because they're still yet to face some of the top teams. Going to be a much harder struggle against some of those teams, I think.
Yeah, and I think that as we progress through the season, those struggles are only going to build because the competency of all the rosters is going to build with it. So the games are certainly going to get harder, and it's going to make players, I hope, want to work harder alongside that, really give it their all to try and improve to be the best teams they possibly can be. Like, we heard it from Luna before, they were seeing little bits of improvement from some of the teams, and I hope that they can heed that call to arms, I suppose, and really just give it their all to do the best they can, because, healthy competition, it can only merit the league and only make things better for the players all in all.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And, like we said, confidence is key, but the more and more some of these teams scrim and train and practice against one another, like you said, the healthier the league becomes. So I think that it's exciting to hear in some of these interviews, the teams that are training, the teams that are working really hard for it. Like we saw last season, we had some teams really, really progress throughout the season, really, really get better. It was so obvious how much work they've been putting in, and I love seeing that.
But speaking of work that's being put in, let's hear all about it from one of our players right now. We have Spring Hopak.
How's it going, guys? Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some echo
We're good.
going.
How are you going?
Oh, we're good. We're good. Yeah, there's just some echo going on. I don't know how to fix it. Should be right. Yeah, it was a good.
I think
game.
it's coming.
What do I do?
Good game. No. I think we can hear it fine on our end. So no issue with the stream. So we're all good.
Yeah. Oh, turn up. Oh, wait. Oh, hang on.
He's locking in.
Locking in, getting ready.
I'll turn off my. What? I'm trying to follow instructions. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. No. So decent game. Obviously, both sides. Yeah, I don't think I've ever versed those guys before, but yeah, clearly like good opponents. But just getting like, on the roll with Baz was just like a new role for like our team, just to like the chemistry. It was alright in the end though.
Yeah, I definitely thought that was really interesting going into tonight, because admittedly I thought the series was going to be really close. You guys and Griffith are pretty neck and neck on the ladder at the moment. You both had a sub playing in tonight, and of course having a sub thrown into the mix can make things more difficult sometimes, but you guys were gelling, you guys were flowing. That was a really impressive series out of your team as a whole.
Yeah.
Do you think there was any reason? Have you played with Baz before?
No, I was gonna say, because when Baz hopped on today, I was trying to invite him, but I realized I had like 3 Bazes added, so I was like, I don't even have you yet. You know what I mean? So we haven't even played together, but clearly like our skills in the end like really like worked well together. And we had a couple good passing players like me and Baz throughout the season. So throughout the games. So we've got that good chem building from the start. Obviously, like of course, like Stimpy, our best player. It was just like a really good addition. Just having us all like with chemistry of the game. I really enjoyed it. That team, just a new roster, for us. It was alright.
Yeah, and great to see that you guys did manage to adapt super well there. And I suppose, will we be seeing more of your team as it is now? Will we see Baz hop in again in some of the future games there, or like what's on the horizon for you guys?
Yeah, it was an interesting one because I didn't even know we were playing with this roster today. But now that we had that little sweep going, I think going forward we'll try it out if we need to. But we have to. I guess outside of AEL, we'll have to play together and sort of see if this is like a team we want to like go forward with and just like try out more. But we haven't really played together, so today was maybe like a fluke for us. It was really just came down to our chemistry together as a team, and just to the very end, just working together. We're all like individually pretty good players, so I would say that's what it came down to.
No, fluke or not, it was a really good performance, and it's obviously really good to have a couple of players you can change things up with depending on the night, which roster you're going to put forward. So whether it's a sub, whether Baz is a sub or not, it was really good. But
yeah,
you guys seem to be also putting in the work individually as well. You had an incredible flip reset goal in that final game. Stimpy as well with the double, the ankle straight down into net.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me, have you guys been practicing?
Honestly, because I missed last Wednesday's game. I think who did we verse? I think UNSW or something. But I haven't played since the last AEL, so I think 2 weeks. So I was just like, when we were in comms, I said, guys, I think the more breaks I take from the game, like the better I get. So like, I think the next time I will play is next Wednesday. Like, I'll let them know. But yeah, other than that, I think they've been playing my teammates, so they're obviously like they look pretty good and healthy. So yeah, I mean, I'm just like trying to keep up with them at this point. But yeah, it's good games from us.
It was well done.
Yeah, thank you. I
Absolutely.
appreciate that.
Couldn't agree more there. Well done. And I think it's only onwards and upwards for you and your team from here. So just want to say a big thank you once again for joining us, and congratulations on your win. Super duper keen to see more of what you guys can do heading into the future weeks.
Thank you. Thanks for interviewing me, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It is, as always great to get, some insight from the players, get a little bit of a deep dive into their psyche, how they're feeling after their games there. And yeah, it's just good vibes all around. Speaking of good vibes, though, we're going to be bringing more of those to you right after this break. Tune in. We got more fun on the horizon. Welcome back, everybody, to the AEL University Elite Series. Matsy and Morgie back at it again. And first and foremost, we do want to formally apologize for the delays there. Everything is all good now. And speaking of good, we are back with the good vibes. But speaking of good vibes, let's talk about our favorite things to bring the good vibes. It's AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs. But that's not all, because we have Indomie, the noodle partner, made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. Big shout out to our sponsors. We'd love to see them.
Absolutely. We love our sponsors, but we have to get into this next game. So we'll save the noodles for later. I'm hungry for some later. But at the moment, we're going to take a look at our matchup. We have Swinburne taking on our season favorites and our last season champs, UNSW. This is looking like a scary game, and ladder-wise, not the tightest game of tonight. Looking at our rosters as well, we're missing a player from the Swinburne side. We're missing Scout, who arguably is skill-wise probably their strongest player. On the UNSW side as well, even scarier, we have their main roster coming out in full force tonight. They are going to want this. They're going to want to get the series done quickly, that's for sure. And I'm very worried for Swinburne going into this one.
Yeah, it's certainly quite the fierce of opponents that they're going to be facing there, but adaptability is going to be a key to trying to really bring your best to the game, even with the circumstances you dealt with. They still got to give it their all there, rise up or fall down. That's going to be the test that they're presented, but we'll see what they are going to be able to deliver as a result of this test. You know, I'm excited to see, I suppose, the unknown be brought to light here, considering they aren't playing with their normal roster, so we could see a fresh new identity, you know, like what we saw in the last series. You know, they weren't exactly used to playing with one another. They didn't even know what team was going to be playing. And then they managed to play so well. So, like, that could happen again here.
Oh, definitely. You never know what can happen, but I will admit that I'm going with the heavy favorites on this one. And I do think that UNSW will get the sweep here. But, you know, as you said, Matsy, when teams, I feel like it's applicable to any sport, right? Any esport. When a team is really pushed up against the back wall, you can see magical things happen because teams try new things. They try new tactics. They go for shots and plays that they wouldn't usually. When we see them play against teams that are more evenly matched, you know, they'll play more passively. We might see a little bit of a change up tonight. Maybe we'll see a little bit of magic out of Swinburne.
Yeah, the magic could be in their favor, but the explosions are in favor of UNSW at the moment. Good for a few demos through there, trying to see if they can maneuver that ball up as well, but Jonk going to be good to hold it back for the moment with Ibby in the back line as well. Yeah, managing to bolster a solid defense, but can only last so long here, slowing the pace, clearing the space. Senulous sends it out of space. The first is bursting in.
Ada going for the play here, going for that flip reset off the backboard. Unfortunately, was just sitting a little too high to make contact with the flip itself. But Zen just kind of lurking in the shadows there, ready for the miss in case it happens, and capitalizes it on Indeed. UNSW up by 1 now.
Up by 1 and ready to try and gun ahead for more. As they slow things down, it'd be good to at least hold things together for a second. Steve does manage to seal it back as well. Jonk demoed out, so Moldy Shoe gonna have to slow things, but good to find at least a clearing maneuvers there. But UNSW are relentless. They're not letting up at all here.
No, they are not. Steve going in with the reset himself. This reset's gonna work. This one's gonna hit. Very, very clean play here. Nice and easy as Steve gets that reset, gets it over Moldy Shoe, slots that one into net, and UNSW are now up by 2.
Up by 2, pulling ahead here. Going to be happy with how things are going and see if they can continue in positive strides here. Look to hold back for a second. Taking it slow and steady. Zenulus ripping off the wall there, slows it down. Their teammates pushing it through, not able to get it quite across. Good defense is held down by them. See if Moldy Shoe can bring it up now. Zenulus is just ready to pounce like a spider on the wall, aren't they?
It's just floating through the air, waiting for that ball to be sent into his direction. Just had to wait for it because no touch was made. Fortunately, if you're in the air for too long, you're gonna run out of boost. Seeing the ball in this corner now, Moldy Shoe trying to get it out of this half, but Steve relentless with the blocks right now. Moldy Shoe now trying to get it back into their own offense. Zen is going to take this down the other end though. Backflips, I don't think that was intentional. A little bit of pressure is relieved from Swinburne right now.
Yeah, going to be able to keep things all good with that and see if they can manage to make some pressure of their own as they are holding back in the defense there. Good slow coming out from Jong, trying to clear it out. Steve ready to stop them though, does manage to push it off the crossbar. You heard that bell ding, so they're getting close, but not close enough.
Not close enough, not with UNSW putting the pressure on back down the other way. We're going to see a shot now out of Moldy Shoe. Brilliant placement on that right side. Could see the defender, I think that was Zen. Yes, could see Zen making the jump on this one off the sidewall. Knew to score right instead of left. And Swinburne are now in contention on this one.
In contention, they put themselves on the board and are ready to press ahead. Let's see if we can manage to make some further impacts here. They hold on for dear life. Ready to give in. Steve pushing into it with Zen though. Holds back. John good to clear. Steve still there though. Tatagane in the back line keeps it across the middle line.
Steve now with boost in the tank, looking to go for another reset here. A late one almost. Pops the ball up, gets the flick as well. No, we're going to see Ibby clear this one though. Zen trying to get it out. Steve again with boost in the tank, manages to get the beat on Jong. Zen following this one up, goes for the double, but Ibby just makes it to that one in time.
Makes it at the critical moment, and now see if they can find another one as Tata pushes ahead there, climbing through the skies. Steve on the other side of it, ready in support, but they must fall back once again. Zen, pressure on. Can they defend? No, they can't. The equalizer comes through.
Another team play as Swinburne secures this goal. The pass from Ibby to Moldy Shoe, definitely the way to play that one. Zen is a strong ones player. He knows how to shadow defend, he knows how to read, but it's so much harder to read when the ball could come from one of two places. It could come from the initial first man, it could come off the pass, and Moldy Shoe has done well to secure that.
Couldn't agree with you more there, and they are going to keep themselves in the game a while longer. 20 seconds remain now. Will we see a train all the way through to OT at this point? Opportunity for either side rises up. A good slow coming out, but Jonk is able to clear it forth. Tata clears it to the corner there. Teammates around the bend as well. Zen trying to get it across. Does get caught by Jonk, but it's in the sky. It's still alive. But for how long? Tata lets it drop. And here's OT.
I think the thing that worries me in this game, Matsy, is just kind of the read coming out of both teams right now. UNSW, you can see how often Zen is floating in the air, and same with Steven Tatagane as well. They're going for those they're going for clips. They're going for those 1%er kind of shots at the moment. Like if they were going for the easy goals, they may be in a stronger lead right now. Maybe if Swinburne do get this win, we'll start to see more of those kind of usual easy shots out of UNSW. But at the moment, it feels like they're kind of playing with their food. But we've gone into OT in this first game. It is a tied game, so Swinburne managing to hold their own, that's for sure.
They're managing to hold their own and try and see if they can zone it out now. They hold it to the skies. Moldy Shoe rising up, and Tata pulls through with the pass there. Zen maneuvering forward. Let's have Tata to back them as well, but this gives them ample time for Swinburne to respond.
Steve now looking for a double. Very nice there. Almost does manage to secure that one. Zen with the follow-up as well. Ball's going to go into center. Moldy Shoe again lurking there for that pass. Doesn't manage to turn it into a shot though. We're going back the other way. Tata with the shot on net. I need to see a close-up of this one. It looked like Steve actually got in the way. I think it was sinking anyway. Yep, I think Steve may have stolen that shot, but nonetheless, UNSW take this first game.
They sure do lock it in for a victory there, up by 1 point, 3-2, and putting themselves on the board. So a great way to start the series off there, but certainly was a close competition, you know, only 1 point between them. It goes to show that the match has been competitive so far, and Swinburne would have their time heading into this second game here as well. So very keen to see how things are going to play out for them, or whether they can manage to really show their true colors.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, looking at the stats, some good stats out of Swinburne in that one, despite the loss. 9 shots total isn't a bad feat indeed. Kind of funny to note though, Moldy Shoe with 2 goals on the board, both are Swinburne's goals, but no shots taken. Don't know about that stat, but teammates had taken 9 shots between them. None of those had sunk though. UNSW playing very well in defense, so I think it's going to take a lot for Swinburne to actually break that line.
Yeah, got to agree with you there. I think it's going to take a lot of tenacity, and keen to see if that tenacity is going to be able to yield some results heading into game 2 as well, because the pressure has only begun to build. It hasn't even reached the tip of the iceberg here, and the beginning before the end. It's time to get into game 2.
And with the win on the kickoff, but teammates just not ready to follow that one up. Tata with the long shot as well. Moldy Shoe, brilliant defense there to keep that one out of reach. Steve looking for the drop down as well, but scrambling defense out of Swinburne manages to get this one away now. Moldy Shoe going to take the ball upfield, tries to get it past defenders, but we're going to see some blocks and some 50s early on to start this one off. Maybe a shot attempt here from Moldy Shoe. Can he get it around Tata? No, not quite just yet.
Not quite just yet, but their time may yet come once we bypass the minute mark here. A spark begins to light, and there it is, and plays off the board and draws the sword.
Steve with a amazing pass to Zen there. Zen with just a wild shot, a wild read on the follow-up as well to secure that one into the net past a defender. The net wasn't even open, let alone that read was quite difficult, but a good way to start off this second game for UNSW.
Great beginning, but just as quick as it's great in the beginning, it now evens up. Swinburne find their time, and it will be primed up to take one back. The demo allowing them to gracefully slide it through. But it's time for another. It's time for the kickoff, and here we go. Pushed onto the blue side. We are forcing our way in. Zen, keen for it. They won't get the chance.
I think the demo was the interesting thing about that play, Matsy, because we haven't seen a whole lot of demos tonight, I feel. Usually they're a lot more common. Some amazing shots coming out of both sides right now, but I feel like the physical play, it is a way that UNSW can be countered. Honestly, it's their own play style, funny enough. Zen is very, very well known for being that aggressive player, that demoer, that player that kind of gets in your head on your best days. So to be using that against a team like UNSW, it could work.
Good work, and eager to see if it will. We push in to the next sector here. Get into the center. Tata ready. All holds it back, almost locks it through, but it's cleared by Ibby there, and it's counted fully. Ibby locks in 2.
No, 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 the own goal from Zen here. I want to say he didn't mean that, but honestly, he had plenty of time to be able to not secure an own goal in that situation. Wave dash down onto the ground, got a lot of speed there, and just sent that into his own net.
Just a series of unfortunate events, but it's not all over and out. There's still opportunity to redeem themselves into the rest of the matchup here. See if they get that chance in a second as all of Swinburne are creating iron or wall defense in the back line. Trying to hold strong. Moldy's shoe. Seeing the goals there. Steve ready to push it in. Almost, and it will be forced out.
So much power on that ball, so much pace on that shot as well, and it has not gone in. With this UNSW side, it is only a matter of time. The plays that these three can create with each other, the reads they have on one another are insane as well. We might just see it. No, we might not see a nice easy shot as Zen actually knocks that one away. What is happening?
It's just absolute chaos and calamity, and I'm all for it. More chaos all the way through here. Speaking of a good bounce over the top there, Ibby tries to hold it back, but Steve locks it in. 2 for 2, counted through. Grand shot from downtown, and follow-up as well. It's just pristine.
Great pace and positioning from Steve. I am confused. I feel like UNSW are just not wanting to score the easy shots right now. They're wanting to make things difficult for themselves. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's an active decision or just a little bit of playing around, but at the moment, we've got a bit of chaos. It's not the cleanest play, but definitely making for a fun cast.
Fun cast is the best cast, and see if it's going to have more fun times ahead from here. Tata, good in the back line there, plays off the backboard. Zen, good to follow up as well. Pass off to Steve there, slowly swiveling it through, but Ibby, good to keep it on UNSW's side of the field.
That indeed, they're managing to keep it away for now. Not only that, but creating some opportunities that they can capitalize on here. Swinburne being in the lead is something they're going to want to hang on to. Moldy shoe with that easy kind of follow up to get that ball in. 3-2 up against UNSW with a minute left on the clock. They want this game.
They want this game, that's their aim, and we'll see if they are going to be able to shoot a bullseye here. They hold true. Steve trying to push it through, sent it in. Zen pushes it across. It's not there. Tata tries as well, but it's not good enough.
Pass down to Tata. Zero boost in the tank. Almost gets the shot off without anything needed. Tata going for the squishy save as well. Clears the ball out into the center field. Steve sends the ball to the backboard. Is there anybody lurking for that shot? Not just yet. Zen with the pass as well to Tata. But defense is coming out clutch out of Swinburne right now. We are running out of time, Matsy, and we could have an equalizer here.
This could be an equalizer 1-1. Just got to pull the trigger on the gun, but no, the save comes through. That could have evened up this game right here. Time is trickling down though. Tata, one last chance and one last opportunity, and Moldy Shoe sends it packing. Swinburne pull in.
1-1 at the moment. Tied game in this series for Swinburne. UNSW, some questionable plays in that, but I definitely don't think we're seeing their best out of them right now. I know how much more dangerous this side can be, so it may be a little bit confusing, but Swinburne definitely, at the end of the day, definitely managing to hold on to that one really well once they had secured the lead. They're not relenting on defense. You can see in the last 30 seconds, UNSW sending shot after shot at that net. but just unable to get it past those 3 defenders in blue. So props to them for hanging on to that one and for equalizing this series.
Yeah, it goes to show this one is certainly looking to be a close and competitive series all throughout, or evening it up 1 apiece. Like only 1 goal between them again. It just goes to show how locked in both these rosters are. You know, they're really proving themselves, defying the odds here and giving it their all. And I'm super duper keen to see how the rest of this series progresses as well, whether we see more of these 1-goal tight score lines. It's really exciting stuff, and I'm just super keen to see if there's more to come.
Oh, definitely. I think there's plenty more to come in this series from both teams, really. I think we're going to see some really clutch plays out of the boys in blue, out of this Swinburne side. I think we're also going to see some really flashy plays out of UNSW. We know what they're capable of. These 3 players are 3 of the meckiest players in this league. So excited to see what they're going to do as they warm into this one.
They will warm into a cozy game as UNSW already strike back and say it's time to play that game, and Tata will be able to take it through with a fierce strike.
12 seconds into the game. First goal on the board goes to UNSW. Swinburne definitely a little confident after that last game, so need to be careful not to let UNSW have too much time and space with this ball right now. Looking for a shot of their own, but Tata there to clear it.
There to clear it, and there to gear on through to try and do more here. Good clearance from Ibby there. Does get kept on the side by Stephen Coe, and they lock in another flowing through a second.
Very, very quick second follow-up goal indeed, Steve, with the beautiful angle down at that touch coming from the very tip of his card there. Enough power needed to send it into net. Not too much that it was going to hit that crossbar. Definitely a lovely goal there from UNSW.
Lovely goal and a lovely opportunity ahead to see if they can find more here. We hold on a second longer. Moldy Shoe tries to push it into center. Gonna be cleared out by Steve though. Zed, good pick up. Steve ready, but Ibby clears it away.
Looking for the pass into a teammate here. Ibby with the follow-up, but just does get blocked there. Moldy Shoe though, keeping this one close, keeping it in UNSW's half. Massive, massive clear though, goes to Tartagane. He has the follow-up. Steve's there, but Jonk with the save. Swinburne stay alive on another goal.
Another goal, another chance here, and see, they can manage to find another one. My word, that was looking a bit spicy, but they do pull away from it.
Just managing to hang on there. UNSW, again, it's these mechie kind of plays that can be terrifying when you're sitting in net. It's so hard to read when you have players who can score those double flip reset kind of shots, who can score some, some wicked angles, some wicked doubles as well. It's very, very difficult to read, but again, it's just testament to how strong Swinburne's defense is right now with how many goals they're managing to keep out.
It goes to prove their capabilities and prove that they mean business as Jonk tries to lock it in. Good save from Stephen Coe there. Not allowing them to easily flow something through. We'll be able to clear it out. Moldy Shoe, though, keeps it on their side, but now they glide through to an opportunity. Jonk luckily in the back line to steal it away. But my word, they're getting closer by the second. Jonk again clearing it out. This is getting tough.
Swinburne definitely getting a lot more tested this game, although some massive plays I feel like out of Moldy Shoe in particular on the defensive line to keep this ball out and keep it out of the hands of some very hungry UNSW players right now.
Yeah, they're super duper hungry. Might need some Indomie after this game. We'll see what's going to be on the plate for them. They jump in to the midfield now. Moldy Shoe plays it to the side. Steve, counter action rising.
clear as well out of Swinburne, but straight to Zen, who's seeking that shot. Taragane and Steve both dropping down. See, I was talking about kind of like a high rotation in defense before, and teams that can pull it off and still make it back to their own defensive line in time, and UNSW is one of those teams. But at the moment, they're playing the offense. Tata with the pass here. Does go for a pass, but at the end ends up turning into a shot. Moldishu going for that save, tries to knock it out, knocks it into net instead. UNSW up by 3.
Up by 3 and looking to further the supply of goals if they continue pacing like this. But Steve now tries to get it to the center. Zen looking to pick up the mantle there. Tata prepared to receive and will be able to hold back a second. Look to reset into the back line. So no opportunity yet, but have a chance now to maneuver it forward.
Minute left on the clock as well. It is hard in the easiest of games to be able to bring back a 3-goal lead with a minute left on the clock against a team like UNSW. That is quite the monumentous task indeed. Tata and Steve on this sidewall together at the moment, kind of on top of each other's feet right now, and Jonk does manage to get the clear out. No boost to follow that one up though. Ibby with the block on the sidewall, going to look for a shot, but Steve ready for that one.
Ready as can be, isn't it? And it's going to be locked in at long last. We see Swinburne get their first on the board. So, chance, a small glimmer of hope rises from the ashes.
And I getting the slightest touch on that one in net, but Jonk just too much pace on that shot. Tata unable to make it back in time to turn that into a save, I guess. We're going to see the ball go back down the other way though. Steve looking for one more shot, gets the pass off to Zen. Zen goes for the flick. 3 players there ready to read that one though. The shot of Tata hits that top corner and bounces out. That's as close as it gets. Maybe one more attempt here from Steve. Swing and a miss though, and we're going to have it back in the possession of Swinburne. They are not going to win this game, but they are going to go out of it fighting. They did get the last goal at the end there. Maybe that's enough for them going into the next game.
Could be enough to push them over the line. They're going to be feeling pumped up after the results they've been able to achieve this time. Not going to be 1 goal between them in this instance. Will be 2. So they've managed to garner a bit more of a distance between them into this next one. So curious to see if Swinburne can manage to build up a response of their own here. Whether they could be falling by the wayside are certainly going to be a true test to their mettle coming in to the next one.
Swinburne definitely being tested on that defensive back line as well. They just don't have the offensive pressure that UNSW had in that game. You're looking at the scoreboard as well. 12 shots out of UNSW, double the amount of shots Swinburne had with their 6. So Swinburne just needing to create a little bit more presence. They're needing to be able to read each other a little bit better, get that ball out of the back line. Something that we talk about is kind of how often we see players panic and they bang the ball down the field. I don't think Swinburne is that team. They are keeping it close. They are tactically getting the ball away and bringing it back down into their own offensive half, but it's just being taken off them far too often.
Yeah, far too often they're having these little things come back to bite them, and very curious to see if they can manage to find a way out of this one. There's certainly difficulties ahead, but it's all just one big part of the game. They need to unravel things slowly but surely. Calculated approach, but nonetheless, Steve now going to see if they can manage to sleeve through a goal. It's not happening yet. A demo comes through. Oh, close one, but it's hit on the crossbar.
Almost another own goal. Hang on. No, yeah.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah, there it is. What? This is Rocket League. I can't even say it with energy. This is Rocket League. This is what happens. Jonk with the demo there. I don't know what happened. Tata just maybe a little bit of confusion, a little bit of just taking the ball back with too much power, puts it in his own net anyway. Swinburne up by 1.
Yeah, let's go Swinburne.
Woo!
They're going to be happy
goal.
with that one, yeah. And let's see if they are going to be able to lock one in of their own now with some newly found confidence. This could be what triggers them to action. But speaking of triggers, we'll see if UNSW is now spurring action themselves, trying to fight hard to get that goal back. Close from Sen. Ooh, but not close enough.
How many shots are going to come out of UNSW in that one sequence and hit that side of the goal? It beats me. Their luck is not on their side right now, and technically another own goal. But Ibby is going to be credited for that one. I think it was looking like it was going in anyway. Who got the, was that Tana? Who got the touch on that? That can't be 2 own goals for Tana. Surely not.
Surely not, surely not, but but do have a second locked in for Swinburne now, highlighting their capabilities, and let's see if they can continue to unravel their abilities to play around their opponents. They hold on for dear life here. Still plenty of time to play with though, you know, UNSW, they've got a chance to bring something back out of this one. See,
Definitely.
how to find it.
Definitely a bit of time here to work on their side. I'm gonna ask Matsy, what do you think defines an own goal? Obviously in Rocket League, an own goal is never credited to the player who actually own goals it. Another side ball. I'll come back to that in a second. Another side post hit from Steve there. We heard the ding. We heard it happen. There it goes again. Zen with the follow-up though to secure that goal.
I feel like the own goals, you know, they were the testing ground for the team to lock in and take control of that real goal. You know, they wanted to get a bit of practice in first before they really looked to deliver a precise result there. So, you know, practice makes perfect, right?
That's the one. Warm up into your own net, and just for some reason, that'll do the trick. They're finding their pace now. They're finding their rhythm. That's for sure. Steve, with an attempt there, doesn't quite manage to sink that. Still on the ball though. Still trying to knock players out of the way. Definitely UNSW keeping their offensive pressure on and keeping this attack very solid.
Yeah, solid attack there after being their own opponents. They're now looking to face the real opponent, Swinburne. And we'll see. They are going to be able to pull ahead here. Good maneuvering from Moldy there. Maybe. Moves forward, trying to take it through to the center, but won't reach the conclusion they seek. It might have further progression though into the corner. Steve ready. Sends it back. Return to sender over the line. Is this going to be in? It sure will be. And just like that, it's 2 for 2.
A pinch here off a defender. Steve managed to read that one well as Ibby jumps. Just pinched it off him, placed it underneath him in their own defensive half. That was a long shot, a long goal, but UNSW have equalized.
They are going to be very happy with that. Looking to get more shots in as well. Just look at how fired up they are here. Gearing on to continue the aggression. Do not want to let up. Want to get that lead as quick as possible here. It's not just, you know, fall into their lap. There's still more work to be done.
That's for sure, but I feel like they're not sweating it too much. You know, out of all the teams we have, this is probably the most relaxed team, the most chilled team. They're here to vibe and have fun. The UNSW team. Speaking of Zen last week in particular, he says they don't really stress about anything, so I'm sure even after the own goals, they're not too worried. They're having fun, and you know that's where we see the best out of them. We see a couple of mistakes sometimes, a couple of own goals, keeping it interesting, keeping us on our toes, that's for sure. But that is when these boys play best, when they're relaxed and enjoying themselves.
That's right, just vibing out, having a good time, and you can really bring your best gameplay. See if there's going to be more of that on the way. Pushing it over Swinburne's side now. Good response from Ibby there. Trying to lock it into the center. See if they can catch the board and take another goal back. But time is dwindling hastily here.
If we don't see a goal shortly, this will be going to OT. Both Steve and Tata jumping for that one. Steve's kept possession here, tapped it up. Now with full boost in the tank, but Moldy Shoe with the dunk there, no boost. Zen having to stretch to get to that one. Maybe a goal, a shot here from Moldy Shoe. Steve with the save though. Ball is up in the air still. Not going to try and take this the other way or put it down, but Zen keeping it up for UNSW. Tata with a shot as well. Evie on the backboard. We're going one way and we're going straight back the other. Maybe another shot here. No, it is going to touchdown. And Matsy, we're going to OT.
We sure are going to OT and ready to break a free here. Let's see who's going to be able to break the streak. An opening. Steve pushes ahead now, Tata. Good to try and lock it in, but it's not meant to be just yet. There's still more on the horizon.
Double was looking good. It was set up well. I wouldn't expect anything less, but Ibby with a fantastic defensive read there. Zen with a shot. Jonk with the save as well. UNSW shot after shot right now. They're putting the pressure on. Moldy Shoe seems to be fighting for his life in defense and this midfield at the moment. Playing incredibly well to keep the ball out. But again, more shots out of UNSW. It's looking dicey for both sides right now.
Dicey as can be here, and eager to see if they are going to be able to break apart and pull in. It's a tough time ahead, but not an impossible one. Steve would push up there, caught by Jong, and does get pushed past. Uh-oh, this could be a time, but no, they hold it on.
And going for the solo play here potentially. Teammates have jumped, but they've jumped for nothing. Zen wants to do it all himself. Taking this ball off the sidewall, hits the roof, goes for the reset, hits it perfectly over Indian defense. That's the way these guys want to end this game. That is how UNSW is going to take this one out.
They take it out with a style there, speedy on through, and will be able to pull through for victory. So, well played by both rosters there. UNSW pulling ahead with confidence as they can. But what a dicey game that was, you know, absolutely all over the place.
Oh, absolutely. And I wouldn't expect anything less. I honestly, as much as I was confident that UNSW... I did think they were going to sweep that one, but lest I forget the fact that they like to have fun with the game sometime and keep us on our toes and create that chaos. I should have known, let's be real. But nonetheless, they have managed to win the series.
That's right, they managed to push on and win the series there. Definitely keen to hear all about how that series went from the players' perspective, because sure, they've got some fun insights into what was going on there, but regardless, a fun one nonetheless. As always, it's been great vibes so far, and there's more to come in the next one too. But my word, these players are certainly proving themselves. You know, we're getting towards that midpoint of the season, and they're just showing that we got some close competitive games in the mix here, and there's more to come.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I think that the final series of the night will be very tight. But yeah, what a night it's been with some of the games we've had so far. That game in particular, again, just the chaos that we see sometimes in Rocket League, the chaos that we get in Uni League is just unmatched. I'm gonna be fair, but we've had some good series tonight. Definitely a close night. Definitely some really good games, some fantastic shots as well. A lot of these Uni players have some great skill sets.
Absolutely, great skill sets, and always great to see them showcased. But speaking of showcase, let's showcase our interview with one of the great players from UNSW. It's Zenulus.
Hi,
How's it going, Zen?
I'm great. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. We had some fun casting that one. I think you guys have
did.
got some explaining to do with some of those own goals. What happened?
All right, I can actually explain this. Like they look
Yeah, yeah.
criminal. I have to answer for our crimes. First one. Okay, I'll preface by saying all series, I was spiking in my ping. All right, I had like 200 milliseconds. Right, it was pretty bad. But the first one for me was actually a psycho attempt. But you know, I ended up going inside the ball, and then did not it actually just rolled, and then I can't explain. I can't explain for Tata. All right, Tata's was actually as bad. You might have to bench him from the league.
We're not laughing about the own goal. I swear we're laughing about the fact that you cut out right as you were talking about your ping, and we were like, okay, we lost.
That's
you.
incredible stuff.
Yeah, but Tata's goal, he had time, he had space, and you know, we just figured you guys were just taking it easy, having a bit of fun with the game. But yeah, definitely. I mean, not the first time we've seen no goal, not the last.
Couldn't be helped. Couldn't be helped.
Oh, we'd love to see it. And I suppose with being faced with ping issues there, did you have to play with, I guess, a bit more predictability about where the ball could be compared to where it actually is? Like, how did you manage that from your perspective?
I think it gets to a certain point with Hail Mary and do whatever. So I was just free jumping off the ceiling. I think probably more than half the game I was off the ceiling.
We saw
just for anything. It's more of like a band-aid fix. It works for everything. So that's what it came to. But then I clutched up at the end, so you know it's all good.
The final shot was a good shot. That was a really impressive shot. But yeah, the floating off the wall on the roof.
I couldn't even see the ball for that last shot. That last shot, it was basically muscle memory. Okay, that's like 800 hours of free play.
That makes it so much better. Not gonna lie, but yeah, definitely saw you floating around. I think in the first game. I made a comment about it to Matsy. You drove up the wall and you were floating, waiting for a pass from Tata. And I think you went through your entire tank worth of boost. You were just waiting for the shot, and you solo played it, and you were just floating there. Look, I gotta ask. I know we spoke about it last week about teams that you're excited to come up against, teams that might be difficult. Look, we had an interview with Luna before, and he's confident. Oh, you saw?
Yeah,
any thoughts on that? Because obviously you guys are both confident. Both teams are confident. Do you, after seeing them play a little bit more, are there any more concerns about matching up against them?
It was just funny timing. I was in bed. I woke up from my nap, and I opened up the stream to see if I was actually meant to be playing. And the interview was just coming on, and it was just chatting. It was chatting about me and the win we had in season 10. And he reckons he's the X Factor or whatever. But I don't know. Look, if he wants it, he can have it. But I mean, I don't think they're that great. I'll be real.
I honestly, it's gonna be the match of the season for me. I'm so keen for it. No napping through that one. Please rock up to that one. We're excited for it.
Oh no, I set many alarms. It's all good.
Set it weeks in advance.
Yeah, pretty. I don't know. Like Luna's great. I like Luna.
He's cool.
I don't think he's the X Factor though or whatever, but we'll see.
Need to see how that one plays out. And I got to say, Zen, thank you so much once again for joining us. Congratulations on your win. Excited for that highlight game ahead of you. And yeah, just make sure you lock in and call the internet company before the game. Make sure you stay wide awake for your matchup, and definitely keen to see what's to come.
Yeah, good chat, Matsy.
Thanks, Zen.
Happy days, as always. Just good vibes all around from our players here. And yeah, just love to see it. Just all positivity. And speaking of positivity, we got more to come as well towards our final series of the night, right after this break.
I feel bad.
Here we go. Welcome back, everybody, to AEL University Elite Series. We're jumping out of the Matrix, and we're back on your screens. And we do want to bring a important service announcement. So, first and foremost, we want to say that unfortunately, QUT has forfeited their upcoming match. So we still will be showing a game with QUT having a UON sub as a show match coming to you very soon. And we're also going to be having an interview with UON after this matchup. So it's going to be a best of 3 show match. And the result will be 3-0 for UON for the matchup there. So get keen for the upcoming show match, Morgie.
Yeah, I think it'll be a bit of fun. Like obviously with the show match, there's less pressure on the team, so kind of like we've seen in the last game, it can turn into a bit of chaos. There's different plays tried. There's solo plays. There's mechie shots that players wouldn't usually go for. So I'm keen to see a show match. I think it's a nice way to end the night.
This is Rocket League. I'm definitely keen to get into it. But hey, just because we're going to have a sub in this show match, we might have another surprise sub in the show match too. You got any insight on that, Morgie?
I don't know what you're talking about, Matt. See, I definitely didn't beg and plead and say let me play when we were on the break. But maybe I don't want to take Abjix's spot. I feel bad. I mean, if anybody needs, I'll sub in any day. The amount of times I've said on this cast, I'm going back to uni just so I can join one of these teams and play is ridiculous.
Well, it could be your time to shine. Who knows? Oh, excited to see what's on the horizon though as we jump straight into the game, and already all kicking off with a flash there. Need to see this clash unfold to its fullest extent.
That's it. Eminence. Oh, jump and a miss on that one. Trying to get the dunk on that ball to secure that goal. But as well with the read off the sidewall, just misses there. And we have the full court in the middle. Abtix, our sub of the hour, getting a pinch, a pass off to Ultraviolet as well. We will have, I think that was Bud securing that one. And QT in this show match, the first ones on the board.
First ones on the board there, and they are going to be happy as can be. Get themselves into action here. But speaking of action, they're bringing the action straight in to the next sector now. Jacko holding back. Eminence good to push it up there. Ooh, close over the side, but they glide on. Ultraviolet will clear it out.
That's it, and the ball's caught in the midfield again. Eminence just can't get the redirect on that one. It was looking good though, it was only millimeters off. Ball was caught in this corner. Again, as Ultraviolet goes for the shot, but Eminence with the save. Playing offense, playing defense, and middle field right now. It is looking good out of UON.
Good, and would even look great. Hold it back for a second. Ascent. Ooh, close one, and they lock it in. UON. Good for their first as they burst onto the scene here. 1-1.
There's the chime as well as the ball hit that sidewall from Ascent and just managed to roll in. It was slow, but it was all that was needed to secure that goal. We have an equalizer from UON. I think it's going to look like a good game. And again, I think, both of these teams right now, Matt, the rotations are off a little bit. They're having some fun. And it's just, it's a good way to see the teams gel at the moment.
They're gelling together to take everything they can into fruition here. And excited to see the direction this series is going to go. Getting it deep into the rest of it. Sent. Holding on to the midfield now. Aptix, a good pressure. Pushing up, keeping it on track. Jacko almost catching it there. They won't be able to keep hold of it. Spud pushes on.
Bud looking to put the pressure on here. Does take that full boost pad as well. Hoping to take it away from one of the QUT defenders here. Sent now backwards. Does manage to keep control. Gets the 50. A shot off the roof from Eminence as well. A second goal on the board from UON.
just like that, there was 2, and they're going to be happy to pull through. See if they can manage to do more there. As we get into the kickoff, it's time to go down, and we get all the way in. Good pressure from Ultraviolet, pushes it to UON's side, but able to send it straight back there. Teammates around the bend as well. AEST, good on it, will be sticking it out. Looks to hold back for a second. Aptix though, back on D.
Ultraviolet trying to get it out at the moment. Jacko fighting for his life against this 50 right now. AEST with with possession, gets bumped off it though. Bud to the corner as well, but Aptix will clear. A lot of back and forth swinging at the moment, like we had in that first series, the pendulum swing, but eventually the ball falls into Jacko's lap. He secures that goal and ties up this game.
Ties it up 2 for 2, pulling ahead with confidence there. You love to see it, and you're going to see more where that came from. Just over 2 minutes to go here. And the time will be pushing straight down. Jacko though keeps it in the corner. Good maneuvering there, centers through, but it's caught by UON.
Going back down the other way, Eminence with the clear. Jacko though waiting on that backboard, ready to take that one back into the air. No boost on the follow-up though, used it all a little too early. You see AEST now seeking this net, tries to get the ball off the backboard. It waterfalls down. Is there anyone there? No, the demo from Ultraviolet on Bud to take that attacker out of the play. And again, we're just going to see a little bit of a stalemate, a couple of shots thrown here and there, but defense holding strong.
Holding strong and could even get even stronger. They hold on for dear life here. Jacko ready to propel themselves forward into the skies, overwhelm one enemy and more could follow. Bud good on the save though. Keeps it in motion a while longer, but Jacko's not done yet.
The ground pinch just a little wide there, but could have been what they needed. It doesn't matter. UON have taken it back down the other way off that play. Eminence, no boost. AEST reads that well, whether it was via voice comms or could just see his teammate was running out of boost on that one. Gets the follow-up, secures the goal, and UON are up in this first game.
Up in the game and ready to take it one step further. 45 seconds to go now. Eager to see if they are going to be able to bring something else to the table here as they hold on. AEST, good defense there. Looking to counter it through now. It's on the QUT side. They're going to be able to glide one through. So 30 seconds to go now. Time is trickling along.
Ball to the backboard again here. Bud passing it off to his teammates. AEST with a slow read on that one, trying to stay cool, calm and collected, but Ultraviolet going to read that in the air. A lot of players in this right-hand corner right now as Bud tries to get it back up the field. Maybe we might see one more shot out of QUT, but not if UON take it back down the other way. The musty out of Eminence to the backboard. Not going to get the ball in the net, and somehow it's still up, but I think this is going to be it. It is going to drop down, and UON take this first game.
That's it. Great beginning there. UON find their confidence into this match here. Really looking strong, and eager to see if they are going to be able to get even stronger heading through into the next sector here. We get prepared for action. Super duper excited for what QUT can bring in as a response into the next one. You know, whether it's going to be 3-2 in their favor, much like our last series we watched, or whether it could be something else entirely. But it's all up for questioning once we get prepared for the next game.
Yeah, definitely some good play out of both teams in that one. I wouldn't be surprised if this does go the other way to QUT. It was quite tight. There were some great shots in that. I think Jacko in particular is quite a threatening player. Usually we have the Mac and Jacko duo on this QUT side. So he may be missing his other half tonight, but he's still a threatening player.
Yeah, still threatening and still able to deliver results. Eager to see they are going to be able to do just that. Push it over the top, but get it past, and Ascent locks it in. What a way to get it done there. Good on to the replay as well.
What? Just such clean car control out of Ascent on that one to come off the wall to get that flip reset, not under the ball, but on the side of the ball, and scoop that into the net was impressive control indeed.
Impressive control and more to come. Let's see. They are going to be able to hold on back now. Ooh, good tackle there from Jacko, keeping away from their team's goals, but not going to stop the relentless aggression coming from UON.
No, they are not relenting, are they at all? Bud, Eminence, and Bud, Eminence, and Ascent, all three of them on that back line just then. Even in defense, they seem to be playing with a lot of pace, a lot of momentum right now. They are caught on that back line. Ascent trying to get this one out. Jacko with the read into center. Can Aptix take the shot just a little bit too wide? Jacko with the follow-up goes too high. Never mind, Bud's gonna score it anyway. Add another own goal to the tally, and Jacko gets credited with that one.
We'll find the credit. And, you know, I'd be curious to see how many own goals would be across all teams by the end of the season. I feel like that'd be a nice little highlight reel, you know, the seasonal blooper reel.
I wouldn't mind that at all, actually. Hold on, admin, BK, what are the chances we can tee that up? I'll edit it.
Yeah, I know a guy who might be able to edit that through. He might take some convincing, but I know a guy.
Oh, Jacko now with the ball, the pass off to Ultraviolet. Now it's too clean, it's too classic. Neither of them with a lot of boost on that one by the time the pass came off. Ultraviolet with 0 actually, but so was Ascent, so managed to get the ball past him on that one, and QT are now up by 2.
Up by 2, and could be more pulling through. Jacko holding on for a second though, pushing up the wall, no pass off. It is going to be caught by Eminence there. Now alleviating the pressure is Ultraviolet, but keeping it on the wall with their teammates. Do not want to allow any control to their opponents here. Otherwise, they might be able to swing another goal through. Speaking of, they get Demo out there, so trying to destabilize the defense when and where possible here. Jacko now forced to backpedal a bit.
Having to take this one all the way back, but just the pressure coming out of UON right now, shot after shot. It's only a matter of time before one sinks. But he scored one down the other end. He decided to go after the right goal on this one. Honestly though, what a shot to get that angle with the, being off the ground as well. Bud with a nice equalizer there for UON.
Absolutely great equalizer, and to see what else they are going to be able to hit in this one. They reach for the skies. Good catch from Ascent there. Work some magic through to their teammate Aptix though. Holds it back for a second longer. Ultraviolet. Good push. Pushed offside, but ready to glide it in, but no one really able to make any decisive movements as yet.
No, a lot again caught in the midfield, but not if Jacko has anything to say about it. Bud takes this one to the wall. Eminence again going for the challenge there. The ball does go back, and Jacko is there to clean that one up. 3-2 to QT.
3-2. They pull ahead with the lead. Just 2 minutes remaining now. And curious as ever to see who will pull ahead in the end here. Will UON bring it back? Will QUT steal it away? It all comes down to these little moments here. Jacko holding on for dear life. Great way to push through the fields there, but not able to find the opening they need for more just yet.
Jacko definitely chasing that reset, but just not quite getting the touch he needed on that one. Teammates not ready for the miss either. I mean, it's testament to how often Jacko does hit those kind of touches. His teammates definitely trusting him on that one. It's more likely than not. But whiffs happen, misses happen, and shots like this make up for it, that's for sure. A pass here, or not really a pass, a clear from Eminence puts it straight into Jacko's hands. Yeah, wow. Shot, crossbar and down.
Locked in and shut down. 2 goals ahead now are QUT. And a demo kicks it off with a bang there. Speaking of a bang though, AEST almost banging a goal through. Demo in consequence from Eminence there. Their team very eager to try and lock something in as we bypass the minute mark here. UON trying to find a spark, to find a light, but QUT keep them in the darkness.
Another shot attempt there, but a little bit too wide off Abtix. Ultraviolet going for the double now, but defenders in place to read that one. AEST gonna try and get this one out quickly. Does get the 50 off the initial touch, but now taking it upfield kind of leaves it loose. So Jacko's still lurking. You don't want to let him have a shot at the moment. He's shooting on target right now. Somehow UON make it out of that one alive.
Yeah, managed to make it out alive. The guns blazing, trying their best. Keep themselves in. Good defense from Ultraviolet there, but there's not much time remaining. UON opportunities dwindling. 5 seconds to go. It's now or never. Will they stay? Will they go? It's time up. No chance at recovery. QUT just need to make this one and get in the goal or hit the floor, but the ball never stops.
No, they have still kept it up. Eminence with the catch on the floor there, just wants to play it out a little longer. UON want one more goal. They want to go into the next game with that momentum, with that rhythm, but yeah, a planned own goal, that'll do it. That'll seal the deal. Jacko said he'd had enough of this game. Doesn't care if he gives the goal to UON and scores another very, very well targeted net.
Yeah, they just want to go next into the last game here. Very curious to see how things are going to play out heading into the finalizer. Game 3, the decider. Who will win? Will it be QUT? Will it be UON? It all comes down to this.
It's so hard to call between these two teams right now, Matsy, because I feel like I don't know. I always thought this was going to be a tight series. I feel like UON may have had the upper hand, but Jacko is just such a dominant player and such a threatening player. And when he's playing well, it bodes very well for his team. So it's really hard to call how this third game is going to turn out.
3, the magic number. Jacko already pushes through there. Eminence good on the defense, manages to save it, but just as they save it, AEST ascends and takes the first goal.
That momentum, whether it was an own goal or not, did give UON the upper hand 7 seconds into this final game, and they are the first ones on the board, courtesy of AEST there. QT going to have to fight back quickly. I feel like, you know, whichever team has had an early lead in these games has seemed to hang on to it pretty well.
Yeah, they've managed to look pretty solid, you know, get that early momentum behind you, and confidence is sure to follow. So eager to see if they are going to be able to maintain it, hold on to it here. Ooh, that could have been dicey. Jacko luckily clears it out in time. The Bud doesn't care, they're just going to try and send it. Not quite there yet.
Almost had it, almost. Mere millimeters of a miss on that one. But Jacko, again, man of this match almost, going to take it back down the other direction. Almost scores off that. That would have been impressive indeed. But we are still goalless on the QT side for now.
Still goalless for the moment, but not the end of days as yet. There's still an opportunity here. Good clearance from Bud. Tries to play it up. Is going to be halted there. Abdix now has their chance. Ultraviolet can take up the mantle, but they're looking to go for the full reset here. So UON now in the driver's seat.
That's it. Aptic's going to send it back down the other way, looking for a teammate, but Eminence there with the read on that one. Ultraviolet shot attempt here goes. Wow. Goes for the shot attempt. Here we go again. It's good. Let's dissect this one. It is going to go to Aptix. There was a save attempt from Ascent there. Aptix just getting that little touch on the ball to give it that push forward. Ascent almost got that one out, but it has gone in and QT have equalized.
1-1, and they have fun while doing it. So lovely to see. Almost trading it back there, but it will be stopped by Ultraviolet. To pilot their way towards a goal themselves. Ascent now taking to the skies. Does have Bud close by, trying to bounce it through, but the crossbar will be their demise.
And passing it into center, but teammates not ready for that one. Bud does get the pinch and puts it back into center again. Eminence with the shot goes a little too high. Aptix does get there in time. We are seeing a lot of pressure from UON right now. Like I said, it is a show match, so technically nothing too important on the line except for pride, the most important thing. UON don't want to lose this one.
I want to hold on to this one for dear life here, and I'm sure everyone is having great amount of fun as well. We'll see more on the way.
Time is dwindling. We've got less than half a match left as UT take this one to the side wall. Aptix now looking for Jacko. Ascent finds the ball in the mid-air though. Caught in this corner again. Eminence just trying to make his way out, but getting challenged by Ultraviolet with a lot of boost and a lot of power. Jacko in the center now. We've seen a demo. One player taken out of the play. Does this give UON an opportunity here? Not quite, not just yet.
Not just yet, and we're going to see if it is going to be the time for them yet to make their stand as they push up once again, holding on to it. Good cross through, Bud not ready to pick it up, but does swing it back for Eminence, keeping it in the skies, trying to keep control. They won't be able to stroll through, and this could be the opportunity. There it is, UUT break free.
A long shot here from Ultraviolet, almost quite, not quite a pre-flip, but almost a bit of a pre-flip for the ball to roll along the ground there and sink into that net. QT are up 2-1 now with 1:25 left on the clock. Pride on the line. UON needing to do something quickly, otherwise UT are just going to hang on to this one. Oh.
Hold on for dear life here. Oh no, not again, not like this, but it's not meant to be. Certainly getting scarier by the second though, my word.
Oh, a few close calls, but nothing going in just yet. I feel like it is a bit of a caster curse. Whenever I'm really confident, I say, ooh, you know, nothing, you know, it's a stalemate, nothing's happening, someone scores something. So I thought I was going to eat my words just then, but we haven't seen a goal yet, although it is looking good for UON right now as the pass goes off to Eminence. Never mind, it's the caster curse reversed. I said we were going to see a goal, and of course we didn't.
Nope, just a demo instead. A nice consolation prize, you know? But we'll see if there's going to be another prize on its way soon. Evidence reaches for the skies and we'll be able to keep the ball alive. But time is ticking down now. Jacko trying to open opportunities. No one's there to receive, though.
Oh, the shot itself, the double off the sidewall that would have been a spectacular shot, but not to come to fruition just yet. Bud seeking one of his own though. It hits the backboard. Ascent scores it. We have a tied game, ladies and gentlemen. It's a show match. I don't care. I'm excited. This is the full series length. We are going to OT with a 0-second goal.
That's it. This is Rocket League, and we are into OT right now. It's the time to make a stand here. Prove yourselves. We'll see if they are going to be able to find a goal. whether we could have this one dragging forward. Open season here, Ultraviolet luckily gears back though, but it's not the end of the attack just yet.
Matty, it's because I didn't sub in. I wouldn't have let you on that one. I'm mean.
Oh,
But this OT isn't going to go on very long at all. Eminence with the flip reset. Ascent with the shot that hits that crossbar. With the follow-up as well. 1, 2, 3 players involved in that one. And UON, the winners of this show match.
And GG, well played to both teams there. Having a great time during that show match, I'm sure. And we will be able to see none other than our victors in UON. So, well played indeed. And my gosh, what a series and what a day this has been.
What a day this has been. We've had some interesting series. We've had some great goals. We've had some even better own goals. What a way to run the night. And again, I wouldn't expect anything less out of this squad. They're always fun to cast, and I imagine it's fun for all these players to play.
Absolutely. Heaps of fun for the players to play, and always keen to see exactly what else they are able to bring out on the given day, you know, able to really bring themselves to show their true strengths there. So super duper keen to see more of those come to fruition, and it's been a great reintroduction to Rocket League as well. Great to see, you know, some of the players that I'd seen before in the past are still there and still kicking goals.
Yeah, I think there apparently I know Formal talks about it. There are some players that have been here for seasons, for years almost. They're common names in the AEL Uni League. So it's great to see them returning. It's great to see them kind of almost mentoring the next wave of players as they get into uni and start joining these comps. I think it's really good to have. It's really great for the community as well, and a really good social yet still competitive league for all the players.
Absolutely going to be a fun one, and keen to see, I suppose, branching off those more seasoned players, I guess what the next generation of players will look like coming after them, you know, because obviously eventually players do have to graduate unless they just want to study forever. Then, you know, power to them. I don't know if that would be me, but, you know, maybe someone wants to study forever. Who knows? But no, we love to see it, don't we, Morky?
Oh, absolutely.
But looks like we do have something fun on our hands. It's going to be ASCENT coming in hot for an interview right now. Welcome in. Oh my god.
Oh, g'day guys.
Cozy here.
Oh, I'm just in the camping chair setup, you know. I'm at Bud's. So
Keeping nice and warm and toasty.
yeah, you know, just cracking out the fire. Unfortunately, I don't have a beverage in hand, but you know, we'll make it.
I feel
Yeah,
like gameplay would be
marshmallows.
very different if you did.
Oh, you know, it was a bit of an awkward setup, but we made it happen.
Yeah, obviously not the way the night was planned to play out. Obviously, kind of having that last series as a show match instead. But you guys secured the win either way. Sorry, I'm wording this really poorly. How different did it feel playing a show match compared to if that was a competitive series for you guys?
Honestly, it felt the same as most of the normal games. You know, there hasn't really been, you know, feeling any of that pressure from most of the normal games, you know. But no, it was a good match tonight. You know, at least we still got to play. I mean, obviously, like, I don't think there would have been much of a difference in result, but it was still good to play.
Yep.
So
We love to see it. And I guess branching off on that, do you feel like, you know, playing with the good vibe setup, the campfire, the camping chair was able to bring up your energy levels in the game? Do you think that was like a booster for you?
yeah, you made me feel a little bit at home. You know, I won't be here next week because, you know, obviously I'm in Big country away camping for a week. So, you know, it's just bringing that back at home vibe, you know?
No, definitely a way to do it. Honestly, the first time I've ever seen that on interview before. So the more interviews that come along, the more excited I am to see what changes. But looking to the rest of the season, I know you guys had a difficult game last week against Macquarie. This week, you guys have had a win though. Are you hoping that this kind of momentum will continue as the weeks go on?
Well, obviously, Macquarie is obviously one of the more well put together teams, being that they're all consistent players, and obviously, everyone's going to say it. Luna is obviously, a pro player, so being in that team, it already makes it this, big competitive advantage over everyone else. So obviously, we've got our work cut out for us, and we probably should be practicing together more as a team. But our match result for Macquarie was definitely really good for what it was worth. Like not much. We don't really play together that often, and for it to be like a really close series, we're pretty proud of ourselves. So with the momentum that we've got, I reckon we're set out to do pretty well this season. And obviously there are some other strong teams, but we reckon we've got a good chance.
No, I think you guys really did hand it to them last week. Like it wasn't a sweep; it was a 3-1, and even then the games were really close. And I don't think, obviously, when you have teams with pro players, the thing is they can sometimes underestimate the other team, so they can get a little bit confident when they're going into a series. And you guys prove to them exactly that you are competitors and that you can take them on. So if you have another matchup later in the season, if you make it into the playoffs and you do come up against them again, I'm really keen to see how that plays out.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's always that thing of there's the underdogs, there's the people who haven't been like rated that high, and for us to perform that well it was a pretty good thing to look back and like, oh, we're actually a good team, we can do this. We performed well and we're able to play at a pace to keep up with them. There's always that opportunity for improvement where maybe we'll close the gap and make it a 2-2 to fifth game. Who knows? Like it's definitely I did miss like 2 opens in overtime against them in like game 2 or 3. So, I gave them a chance to, redeem themselves, but
No, for sure. I mean, fingers crossed for you guys. Yeah, he's hoping.
yeah. So I reckon, if we verse them in playoffs again, I reckon it'll be a tighter match. But like for the other teams, I reckon we'll still have our work cut out for ourselves. And it's always like games like this again today, like it's opportunity for us to play again together as a team and kind of get into that, groove of playing together and really getting the comms up and, fixing small problems within our team.
Yeah, for sure.
That's great to hear. And Ascent, I got to say, really great outcome for the match today. You guys played really well, and glad that you had a lot of fun while doing it. And yeah, just keen to see what you guys can bring out into the future weeks. Congratulations on the win there, and yeah, best of luck heading into the future.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go. Good vibes as always. Great to get some insights from some of our players. We love to see it. And what else we love to see? How this night went. Let's take a look right at it right now. We got Macquarie RMIT, first match of the night, 3-1, favoring Macquarie. Following suit, it was a 3-0 game. UTS taking out a Griffith with confidence there. And following suit with that was UNSW Swinburne, with UNSW pulling ahead 3-1. And our last and final match going to be a win awarded to UON there. Forfeit win against QUT. So that's how it all went down. A big shout out to all of our teams there for taking away their victories.
Yeah, definitely. And after a sweepless week 1 and 2 sweeps in 2, we've had a third sweep in this week 3. But of course, all of these results tonight have compiled to our standings. So we're going to take a look now. And I mean, as you're all aware, UNSW going their 3rd week without dropping a series are sitting at the top of our ladder. Macquarie not far behind them though, also with 3 series wins, no losses just yet. UON in 3rd place with a 2-1 scoreline, followed by UTS, RMIT and Swinburne, all sitting relatively similar at the moment. Technically UTS and RMIT tied for 4th, but Swinburne also with the same series scoreline, 1 win, 2 losses for them. QT has had 1 win, 2 losses as well, and Griffith, unfortunately, are sitting at the bottom at the moment with not a series win just yet. But they are a strong team. We have seen them perform really well last season. So I think it's only a matter of time. I don't think any team is going to go 0-8 by the end of the season.
Yeah, and it's always great to see teams be able to at least secure 1 win, you know, because I feel like it's just such a great feeling to go to show that, you know, your hard work can pay off, you know, you're able to achieve something. And even if a team doesn't get a win, I feel like it's a testament to they're trying to work their hardest, and if they do continue into the next season, it kind of gives them something more to aspire towards, you know? It's like it makes that win, when they do get it, taste so much better for them. So definitely eager to see more from that. But speaking of what we're eager to see, what we're eager to hear about, it is none other than our sponsors. So first and foremost, I want to say a big shout out to AGON by AOC, the #1 gaming monitor brand in the world. AGON by AOC provide best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs. But next up, it's none other than Indomie, the noodle partner. Made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices, a plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. So big shout out to our sponsors once again. You know them, we love them. I'm going to eat them after this broadcast. Indomie, I'm looking at you. I'm keen. But speaking of keen, make sure you check us out, AU Esports League, on our socials, whether it be YouTube, X, or Facebook, or whatever it is. We are going to be on there. You can see some highlights from our games, and you can check out action from some of our other titles, such as CS2 and Marvel Rivals. So make sure you check us out there. But in the meantime, say a big shout out to everyone for tuning in once again. We're going to be back same time, same place. It won't be me next week, but I appreciate you having me. Until next time, though, peace out and have a wonderful night.